So yeah, now you pulled me off track enough. Let's watch the prime documentary, the hour-long take of a man who went undercover to expose the single most toxic guild in World of Warcraft. Now, label of the most toxic guild in World of Warcraft is a really contentious title because everyone knows that WoW players are toxic, but they're toxic in a different way from other MMOs. Right, where usually people are pushing political takes, blah, 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 all of that shit. WoW players just fucking hate everyone. They're huge fans of just shitting on people nonstop. It works like this in WoW. If someone is better than you, they're a no-lifer. If they are worse than you, they suck at the game and need to get better. And you are perfect. That's been the formula that WoW has relied on for its entire lifespan until they went and made it into, you know, the foo-foo little cuddle box that it is today. It's like saying found the most toxic league player. Yeah, no, that's a title that's real contentious. I couldn't just help a brother out and add an inch to begin with. I had bills to pay. I've seen too many dicks for me to care. This is the only most toxic WoW guild now because Asmongold quit. Was his guild toxic? I didn't really see that much about his guild. At that time, I wasn't really paying that much attention to Asmongold. I came back for the transmog stuff and shit like that, but I didn't really know that much about the drama within his own personal guild when he was there. But let's find out. Let's see what this guy's talking about. By the way, this video will make you like the guild more and Nightman less. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
A lot of you guys are probably wondering where I've been because I haven't been streaming a whole lot lately. Well, the truth is I've been dealing with a severe, crazy online harassment / bullying campaign against me.
When you say harassment or bullying, does that mean that they are going and seeking you out and attacking you? Or is it someone left a mean comment under your YouTube channel and you couldn't deal with it and you heard some words on the internet and that made you have an anxiety attack and some heart palpitations? Because the words harassment and bullying have been like completely fucking muddied. It used to mean that someone was doxing you. It used to mean that someone was actually becoming a real-life physical threat to you, not just saying mean words on the internet. We'll see.
That has, for lack of better words, made me want to disappear completely from the face of the earth. Because of this, I had to take some time off to go undercover, to infiltrate the most toxic guild in World of Warcraft, and show you all exactly the types of people that we're dealing with. But before we get into all that, I need to give you guys a little bit of history to show you how I got myself in this mess to begin with. So let's start from the jump. So it all started here in the Night Slayer PvP Discord server.
Of course it was the PvP Discord.
Specifically in an especially toxic channel they have here called PvP Salt. The Night Slayer Discord is supposed to be a gathering place for players of the Night Slayer PvP server in order to find groups, raids, etc.
Okay, so you went into their Discord. You stepped into their home. You found the channel that is specifically about salt. And you went there. You stepped into their house. What did you do that pissed them off? This is like, you know, when like you see like a news report and it's like man beats wife to death. And the question you're not allowed to ask is, what did she say to him? What did she do that this happened? Night Slayer is the name of the PvP server. Okay, so that's the server, but that's the Salt channel. He specifically went to the Salt channel. That's got me concerned. That's a little bit of a red flag. Not an indictment, but a red flag. When you see a dead fish on the ground, decide to eat it and then complain you're eating a dead fish. Yeah, a little bit of that vibe. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe there's more to it.
But it's unfortunately become a place to spread hatred. The Night Slayer Discord is
the PvP Salt channel in a WoW PvP Discord server Fucking really? They got his IRL info because someone who purchased something from him got his IRL info and passed it out to people that weren't involved in the transaction. That is literally doxing. Yeah, if you're passing out information like that, that is doxing, that is a threat. I land on the side of if you're spreading someone's personal information like that, then you're going out of your way to do that. This guy's probably trying to make a living off of streaming and stuff like that. It's got me thinking I really need to set up a business PO box so that people don't just get my home address.
It's owned and ran by this guy, Poppy Putin, who is also the guildmaster of the most toxic guild in World of Warcraft, the Red Empire. Make note of that because that's really important information that we're going to be going back to real soon. A few months back, I was in that PvP Salt channel talking literally about double rogue arenas with somebody and how much fun the comp is when all of a sudden this guy, Coach, otherwise known as Hundo, starts spam replying to all my messages.
All right, now I'm more on his side. Now I'm more on his side. That's just bitch behavior. That's just labels and bitch behavior. All of a sudden, I'm back on Nightman's side here. Because this doesn't have to do with WoW PvP Salt. This is just Captain Ricky Retardo deciding that he's going to pick a fight now.
Messages in there saying stuff like Nightman is racist. No, I'm not a fucking racist. I've never said a racist thing in my life. I've never said even something remotely sus on stream.
Oh, I bet you have. Come on. Come on. Everyone said something racist. Come on. Come on. You're not a human being with a soul. Shane Gillis explained this perfectly, right? You're not racist right now. The same way you're not hungry right now. But then a cheeseburger cuts you off on the highway. That's how that works.
They have nothing. It was said purely just to rage bait me. And as someone who's a leader of a guild master, someone who's trying to make it as a streamer, someone who also is the owner of a big Discord server, I put a lot of effort and time into keeping racists and homophobes out of my community. So I'm not going to lie. The rage bait got me. It triggered me. And I talked a little shit back to him. I'm not going to.
Well, I mean, the guy started shit. So I think it's fair that he gets to talk shit back to the retard. If someone punches you and then you punch them back, it's the same action, but it's a different reasoning behind it. And I think that matters.
Gonna lie, I did. One of the arguments I made back to the guy was, if you're going to call me a racist, then I might as well just call you a chimo, because that's the same logic you're using on me, just pulling up rumors out of thin air. Poppy Putin, who is this guy's guild master and also his close friend, didn't like that I said that to him. So he banned me from the Discord, and I've been banned ever since that.
Pussies. Absolute pussies for banning him. What little bitches. That makes them pussies. Sorry, I'm starting to fall on Nightman's side here. You gotta be a little bitch if you want to dole it out and then you can't handle it coming back to you. That's just pussy behavior. Is it just me or is this face lopsided? Everyone's face is asymmetrical. His is just a little less symmetrical. Look at my face. Do you think I can fucking judge him? Looking at my fucked up face.
Day. Whenever you ban someone from a Discord server, it gives you the option to delete all the past messages of the person you're banning for the past 24 hours or however long you choose. So when he banned me, he deleted all my messages from this conversation that I'm talking about. And that's why I have no screenshots to show you of the conversation in which I'm referring to.
That's a loss on his side. He should have kept screenshots, keep screenshots of all of this so that you could post them later to make them look like fucking retards when you go out into the more open-aired areas.
Except for this one, where he somehow found an IRL picture of my girlfriend from when I took her out on a date to the arcade.
What the fuck was your girlfriend doing in an arcade in a bikini?
In which he then AI changed to show her in a bikini.
Oh, okay. He used an AI. Nice. What are you complaining about? He made your girlfriend hot.
And then posted it in the PvP Salt channel in a 30,000 plus member server Discord full of degenerates. Someone who I know may have had some choice words to say with that person after that picture was posted. But you tell me what you would have done. Me, obviously super pissed off from having my girlfriend posted in the Discord server and then being banned by the Discord owner, went into my own Discord server and went into the guild announcements channel. And I made a post saying that basically, if any guild member in Most Wanted is seen collaborating with the Red Empire, it'll be an immediate G kick. We no longer associate with them. Poppy Putin.
He's accelerating. And because he's accelerating, this is just going to get worse. I can see it coming.
Congrats on overcoming cancer. Your hair is coming back in nicely.
It is coming back. Also, what's up, Adax? How you doing? We were talking about you earlier. We're talking. Congratulations on being a new dad. I hope it's fucking brutal because we all go through it. He's just bragging he has a GF. None of those retards have one. No, I'm not surprised if any of these retards don't have a GF. It seems to me like Nightman is a very soft person. And if he can get triggered that quickly and that easily, what the fuck is he doing in this space? Like, if you're a soft person, there's nothing wrong with that. Just don't go into these fucking spaces expecting to be treated nice. It's not going to happen. Bad shit's going to happen to you.
Saw this, and this is where all hell broke loose. The dude fucking lost it. Almost immediately after I made that post, Poppy Putin then made his own post in his own Discord server with a link to my Discord server instructing all of his members or goons to spam my server. All of a sudden, dozens of people started flooding my server, spamming racial slurs in every channel. They then screenshotted the slurs that they—
Hey, guess what? Guess what? You want to know why? Anyone who enters the Discord has to go through this channel right here, the Gulag. It's because I manually approve people. So you start spamming shit, it makes it real easy for me to pick you out and kick you the fuck out. You start spamming your crypto stuff. You start spamming scams and shit. It's really easy to track you down and get you the fuck out of there. That's why I do manual approvals, because all these automated systems are fucking stupid. People will get their way through them. Some Baron's chat energy. This is some real Baron's chat energy. Nightman is very soft for the space. There's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with him being soft, but he shouldn't be going into these spaces. But I will say, for his YouTube channel, this did well. This shit was great for his YouTube channel. Look at that shit. 300k views. He's doing fucking well for doing this. He's at least capitalizing on it like he should.
They posted in my server and used it as their evidence, saying I'm racist because this is the type of stuff that I let happen in my server. After an entire
what did you expect?
night of getting my Discord spammed with racial slurs, we finally banned about 36 people.
Or, just add some banned words on Discord. I like adding random ones that time people out for a couple of minutes. No, I don't bother with that, right? I want people to be able to say whatever the fuck they think in my Discord. Barring, obviously, Discord TOS that I have no control over. Blah, 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 all of that shit. But I don't like the idea that someone may be saying something and have a contextual reason around saying a specific word. Even racial slurs, I don't care. They're just words. Get over it. Grab a bag of concrete, a spoon, start eating and harden the fuck up. But I don't like the idea of automated bans and stuff like that. Now I'm with Nightman on this, pulling a David Hoffman and posting bannable stuff for express purpose of reporting it to take down someone else's Discord server's egregious behavior. I wouldn't call it egregious. I think it is pussy behavior, right? I think it is bitch behavior. The fact that they went and did this, went into his Discord and then started posting it, that is bitch behavior. I don't see it as wholly egregious. Oh no, someone posted some shit in a Discord. Guess what? Your name is above that message. And if he explains it to people, congratulations, drama solved.
Spamming stopped momentarily, but that wasn't enough for them. They started spamming my social media, every single account I have on every platform. I tried to ban them all, but it's still happening for months. I think they just keep making new accounts. They then took their harassment into the game.
Okay, so lock your Discord down a little bit. Just lock it down for a little while. That's fine. Change the invite links. Lock it down. That's not that hard.
They began to spam whisper my guild members with claims that I am racist, among other things. This didn't happen once. This didn't happen twice. This went on for weeks and is still going on till this day. Myself and my officers still get constant reports about receiving these messages from them.
This is like the heavier version of what happened to Iconic and me in New World when we were playing it and we ran a company. And that little fucking cuck with the otter picture started talking a bunch of hot shit about us behind everyone's back and just lying through his fucking teeth. I still remember that guy.
Took it to general and trade chat, all the way down to shouting it as an entire guild 40-man group from the rooftops repeatedly in Orgrimmar. They literally created a guild called Nightman is a Racist and started spam inviting anybody they could find. At one point, they had like 50 people online.
This is peak unemployed behavior.
Poppy Putin was very adamant about reminding his guild members to keep up with the harassment. These screenshots were shared with me of him constantly reminding his guild members to harass us both in-game and in Discord.
Harassment, that's a strong word to use here.
Before I created Most
This is just fucking, this is just Spurgs being Spurgs, really.
Wanted, I was in another guild called the Crossroads Caravan Co. The GM of that guild's name was Sledgehammer, and now he's actually an officer in the Red Empire. So I reached out to him early on, basically pleading, asking him to see if he can get through to them to stop with the harassment. They took a screenshot of our conversation, posted it in their Discord, and then laughed about it. I literally cannot shake this Poppy Putin dude. He is everywhere I go. I can't even talk in a Twitch streamer's chat anymore because he's going to be there just lurking, waiting to spread false rumors.
Nightman, come into my stream, please. You can bump the viewership by 2.
About me. Anybody who streams on the server, he's in their chat just waiting. I can't even hang out with streamers while they're live anymore because Poppy Putin will send people to try and gain access to their comms to harass me in their streams. Like what happened when I raided Nax Ramus recently with No Hit Jerome.
Okay.
Nightman, why you dodging, doxing, fucking?
Okay, hold on. Muted because they are screaming Nightman is an N-word repeatedly. How does this make Nightman look bad? This just makes them look like retards. The levels of autism are off the charts. It's phenomenal. This is impressive. I gotta say, this is an impressive level of jumping on someone's back to go after them. It really is impressive.
They did that in front of like 350 people, by the way.
Okay. They did a handstand, took a shit and watched it slide down their back in front of 300 people, and somehow that's your problem.
And let me pause just to note, this is the owner of the whole server Discord. This is supposed to be an outstanding member of the community. How can we all just stand by and watch as someone like this stands at the helm of the community that represents all of us?
How does he represent all of you? WoW is way too big of a game to be represented like that. It's dedication for sure. How do you have the time to do this? EBT, probably.
And that leads me to the next shit show. Remember this part where I said he owns the entire Night Slayer Discord server? Well, I wasn't giving this asshole the reaction that he wanted. All of my guild officers advised me not to do anything, so I just ignored it. I didn't say anything. I told my guildmates to report them and to just ignore them. So Poppy wasn't satisfied yet. This dude goes...
No, this is actually a problem because now whenever Nightman wants to do a collab with another streamer, the other streamer always has to factor in, oh God, we'll have to deal with the N-word screaming retard that follows Nightman everywhere. Now, there's a downside and there's an upside to this, Green Sky Wizard, right? So the downside is if you are soft, nothing wrong with being soft, but if you are soft to that kind of stuff, and that does bother you, then yeah, it's going to ruin your fucking day. If you're smart about it, you can capitalize on these people showing up in your stream and use them to launch yourself to a higher viewership and to a higher component of the category if you're streaming on something like Twitch. It depends how you take advantage of these people being retards. Right? But if you're soft, yeah, this is going to bother you.
To the Night Slayer Discord, and he makes a massive hate thread about me, making all sorts of crazy claims, all of which I will be addressing at the end of this video. And then he pings the entire fucking server. All
So he went at everyone.
30,000 of them. And this is where it gets real cringy. They started using AI to change my logo and put me in a clan suit. They started hunting down anyone in my guild.
Okay, that one's a little bit funny.
That also streams, and then started posting their links in the thread and used that thread to flood their stream with people to harass them. They use endless slurs all over the place in the thread. Anyone that came to my defense in that thread, Poppy Putin pretty quickly banned. And eventually he told everyone in the server that was in my guild they had 24 hours to leave. Otherwise, they would also be kicked from the server. And the unfortunate thing is, it was working. There were people that were leaving my guild because they were tired of being harassed. It was going on for days at that point. They were over it. So how come I haven't said anything about this? It's because they have my fucking address. How do I know that? Well, let me tell you. On November 10th of 2025, I paid a fellow guild member in Most Wanted named Care Camp $300 to help me develop an add-on for the Most Wanted guild. Unknowing to me, when you PayPal someone, it shares your entire address.
That's a mistake on his part. That's a big mistake on his part. Not knowing that it's going to show your address, that's a mistake on his part. He should have checked that first. That is a mistake on his part. It doesn't make it right that they use that to dox him and get his fucking address and shit. But the fact that he didn't check that first,
I just sent
huge
you
mistake
pics
on
of
his
the
part.
place. It's
Huge
also
blunder there.
Down to the apartment number. I didn't realize this till months later. Not long after that, Care Camp got into a petty argument with my girlfriend, who was also the vice GM of our guild, over some bullshit, and he ended up quitting the guild over it. Turns out he hated us the entire time. Because lo and behold, the second there's some PvE drama in Most Wanted and people crash out and leave the guild, guess who buddies up with that person to give them my address? Care Camp. Yeah, that's right. There was some PvE drama in Most Wanted. A group of people got together and said, fuck Nightman, and left the guild together. As soon as Care Camp found out about that, he became all buddy-buddy with them. Next thing I know, a whole bunch of people have my address. How can I...
But I don't blame him either. Hell, I didn't know that PayPal did that too. Unless you're like a regular PayPal user, or you actually go and check what it gives the information of people and shit like that, then yeah, you're not going to really be aware of that. He was probably a first-time user. It's a huge blunder for you to not actually check that first. You got to check everything. So that's why I'm trying to find a system where when I ship models and stuff, it doesn't just give people my fucking address. That's why I've only sent it out to very few people so far, people that I believe I can trust. So yeah, those people have my address currently, but I'm trying to work on a system where I don't see your address and you don't see my address, and it's an automated system, and there's just a fucking guy who comes by, picks up the miniatures, and then sends them out, because I don't want to know where you people live. You can trust me, I'm white. Are you from Argentina, Devilus? By any chance? Yeah, that's what I fucking said, eat me, and we didn't get the app. She went back to the PHP for now. Okay, I don't know what the fuck you're on about that, right? But yeah, I know I need a system where it doesn't reveal addresses either way. I don't want to know where you live. I don't want you to know where I live. I think, yeah, this was big blunder on his part, but I can kind of understand how he fell into that trap.
I confirm that because this person told me so. This is Cutnex. Cutnex is also an ex-Most Wanted member. Cutnex told me verbatim that he was there when Care Camp was actively doxing me. To be fair, Cutnex seemed to have...
Okay, so show him actively doxing you. You need the screenshots.
...my back despite leaving Most Wanted, so I appreciate him coming to me with this information. The person who continued spreading my address after Care Camp was Expanse. I know this because I was contacted by my literal arch nemesis from Classic who used to stream snipe me every day, Ugg, to share with me that Expanse had came to him thinking that he would want my address. This dude had pictures from my mother's Facebook, of my girlfriend, of me at Christmas, of my sister's wedding. Dude, what the fuck? You know what?
Well, you posted those pictures publicly on Facebook, so it's going to be really easy to get a hold of those things.
Shout out to Ugg. You're a real one after all. Ugg strong. So what does all of that have to do with the Red Empire?
I'm pretty sure they'd be
NX sent you photos of another time of place you saw.
in your neighborhood.
Oh, he did. Fuck. And God damn it, there's too much happening. I need to hear that again.
Even if you did get doxxed and some moron showed up to your address, I'm pretty sure they'd be the one in danger just by being in your neighborhood.
That's fair. That's fair. I have a crazy hillbilly style neighbor with very many guns. If some random person showed up in my neighborhood, assuming that they didn't get kidnapped at the airport, because, you know, in South Africa, we love kidnapping foreigners and holding them for ransom. It even happened to Bandy Snatch Cucumber Bitch, that guy. So we love kidnapping foreigners and holding them for ransom. Happens all the time at the airport. So, yeah, you know, you get off that plane, you got to be worried a little bit. I feel like this bloke is really quite soft and has given a lot of attention to all of this, which just feeds the fire. I do feel like he's soft. Again, nothing wrong with that. He is feeding the fire, but at this point, it seems like it's already a firestorm. What more is he going to do about this? At least, bare minimum, he is capitalizing on this, right? He is at bare minimum capitalizing the fuck out of this.
They were approached with my information as well. I know this because Poppy Putin himself posted about this in the Night Slayer PvP Discord. He unfortunately deleted the comment before I could get a screenshot of it, but what I do have is screenshots of the person who approached him with my information.
So you don't have the original screenshots, so again, you've got secondary information.
Confessing to it, when my girlfriend called her out in a Twitch chat, this chick flat out admits to all of it. Oh yeah, and that chick fatherless? You guessed it, another ex-Most Wanted member.
Who's also fatherless.
Fortunately, nothing ever happened with people knowing our address, and since then, me and my girlfriend moved to a different area. But it was
Okay.
scary, man. My girlfriend doesn't even want to take her dog out at night anymore. This is real shit, man. This isn't a joke. And it's all over a video game. So why should you believe me? I've given you a lot of information, but it seems so have they. At this point, from the outside looking in, it seems like a whole lot of he said, she said.
Yeah, it does.
That's why I infiltrated their guild, to show you guys firsthand that everything I'm saying about these people and their character is true. So how did I infiltrate them? That part was easy. First, I needed a new character. The Red Empire loves the world PvP, so of course I chose the best world PvP class, a mage. I even leveled engineering to 300 to make myself more appealing for them. Next, I chose the most brain-dead PvP spec I could find, Palm Pyro. This ensured that I could blow up noobs with ease without any practice whatsoever. After dialing in my UI and getting some gear, I was ready to go.
That's smart.
The mage was ready to go, but I still needed a way in. I didn't yet have a plan. Soon enough, the perfect plan revealed itself. Poppy Putin announced a huge server-wide PvP event in the Night Slayer Discord set for July 5th, the invasion of Orgrimmar.
Oh, I should have registered when he made a Blood Elf Mage. Of course that... Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. These are Alliance players, apparently. Why is he making a Blood Elf Mage if these are Alliance players? I'm missing something here.
And there it was, my golden opportunity to get in. When the invasion comes on the 5th, I will be there, lurking.
Okay.
The night of the 5th came swiftly, and as promised, I headed to Orgrimmar, prepared to infiltrate their organization. I received intel that invites for their guild event had begun to go out. It's now time for action. I whispered them saying I was interested in the guild event, and not long after, I was in the raid group. But this raid group was for the public. I needed to go deeper. Next, I had to infiltrate their communications. Using an aged Discord account in which I had sourced and prepped beforehand, I was able to gain access to their comms via the link they posted for the raid. And there he was, right in front of me.
How many do we have spots do we have in raid?
Poppy Putin.
Raid 3?
The rest of this video is going to be pretty shocking, and I want to note that it may be tricked.
It hasn't really been that shocking so far. So far, this is about average WoW unemployment behavior that I expect from World of Warcraft. So let's see if this ramps up. They are Horde. They're even them going all to Orgrimmar to spam it. Okay, so they're going for... Okay, that makes a little bit more sense. I'm guessing he's going to kill them and use that to convince them to let him join. Maybe. We'll see.
Triggering for some. So please proceed with caution. The version of this video that you're watching has likely been censored. So if you'd like to see the uncensored version for further proof, please check the description of this video. It wasn't long after that when Poppy Putin
Odyssey. So it's the same video, but this is the uncensored version. Now, the one thing I do care about is not getting my YouTube channel banned. So we'll stick to the uncensored version. Can we not all hold hands and sing Kumbaya? No, absolutely not. That's illegal. You know, there was a guy who tried to do that. I think his name was Je Suis or something back in the past. They nailed him to a lowercase t for that. But how did he get his info leaked? What did he buy? Did he buy gold by any chance? No, it seems like he paid a guy to develop an app or an add-on for World of Warcraft. And when he paid the guy, gave him his full address. And then the guy called Camp Care then used that information at a later point in time.
hate speech had begun.
This is going to be the largest realm event that this server has had. I saw this in a prophecy that we were going to beam all of these transsexual liberal alliance player. And if we have any rat big PvP,
I didn't know Andy Pence Gaming was playing WoW.
we are a better guild than you. We are absolutely going to beam the fuck out of you. You are not going to kill a single fucking person in these 7 fucking raids. The Jajas will unleash blizzards down upon your children for thousands of years.
What the hell did I just walk into? Wow, what a great speech from the owner and leader of the Night Slayer Discord to get us pumped up for the
Largest realm event that this server has had.
real nice.
Come on, that's just... okay, maybe I've been on Xbox Live too long, but that just seems like you're a regular retard in a COD lobby from back in the day to me. Like, that really doesn't... That doesn't even register for me on an emotional level. Off topic, but I'm thinking of tossing a track your guys' way. Do I send it? Yeah, send it through Discord.
Of course, it wasn't long until the racial slurs came out. Hard R's and all.
He's just spamming ad breaks now. Don't give him.
Okay. I'm so desensitized to all of this, it doesn't even bother me.
Revenue.
Yeah, fuck that shrimp.
Damn. Hard R and all. Holy crap. How are you going to invite the entire server to a PvP event and then drop hard Rs before it even starts? But hold on.
This is soft boy behavior. I'm sorry, this is soft boy behavior. I understand that he's building a narrative, that he's trying to now smear the reputation of this guy because this guy smeared his reputation, and this is now a shit-flinging contest. I do understand all of that, right? But I don't know, maybe I'm just too old. Maybe that I'm just too old to care about all these racial slurs.
Hold on a sec. Let me point out one thing. I am being accused of being a racist by someone who uses the hard R proudly in front of the entire server. Can you see that?
Well, yeah, duh. Duh. You accuse people of what you are, therefore the spotlight moves off of you to someone else. Duh. That's just average behavior. I mean, that's why a whole bunch of male feminists talk about fucking how everyone else is a rapist, and then it comes out later that they were a rapist or sexual assaulter.
Now how fucking ridiculous this shit is? And people are believing
Which channel? The music channel.
it. There will always be a small amount of people who believe that shit without proof. But that's the entire reason why these people do this shit. This is the dark side of the internet. The people that see it in my comments, the people that see it in Facebook groups, the people that...
Really? This is the dark side of the internet? Really? Not the deep web, where there's a bunch of FBI honeypots where you can try and hire someone to murder someone else? Where there's snuff videos that would make this guy fucking explode like Thanos snapped him out of existence? Come now. This is not the dark side of the internet. This guy doesn't know what the dark side of the internet is.
That see it in Twitch streams, the people that see it shouted from the roofs of Orgrimmar, they don't know that this guy's a proud racist. But you know who they will think is a racist? Me.
Yeah.
It wasn't long
Well, duh. He's weaponized it against
after
you.
Poppy said the hard R himself that he instructed everyone in every raid to start shouting that Nightman is a racist in Orgrimmar once again.
Just gonna /yell Nightman is racist. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, they've got that shit macroed.
Damn, that's insane. That shit hurts, man. You know, I attach my identity to this whole content creation thing, and then to have someone just tear it down right in front of you because they don't like you, it fucking hurts. But you know what would make me feel better? Some gold. You are not going to believe this shit. So the Alliance were taking forever to get to Orgrimmar. At this point, we didn't even know if they were going to show up. So in order to keep people in the raid groups and to stop them from just leaving, Poppy Putin would periodically roll off different amounts of gold for people to win.
And have every raid.
Yeah, you might as well death roll. You might as well add some gamba in there. I don't see why not. Keep people interested, keep people around, make sure they don't log off. I get why. That's smart. This guy's a strategist. He's a strategist with a hard R. This guy's no fun. I want to hear more of that guild leader talking about the fighting transsexual liberals in Baltimore. Like, honestly, that, man, it's not. This is, oh God. It doesn't even make me that happy anymore. I've just been so desensitized to most of this. It doesn't even like spike joy above like a 3 out of 10 for me.
Roll for 200 gold.
I rolled a 97. I rolled a 97.
So he's getting some gold out of this. Nice. Either or, Gresh. It's up to you.
They said they're going to have every raid roll, and then the winner gets 200 gold, and I rolled high as fuck. Imagine I take their gold.
Everyone who won, you can trade me at the palm tree right there.
I'm going to go trade him.
Iliad, Peanut, Hominy, Zura,
It's me.
Flash.
Let's go. 200 gold. Let's fucking go.
Well, that's a little bit of a that is a little bit of a minor win over there. He stole 200 gold from the guy. That's slick.
Here, Bobby. Let's go. I got it. Oh my God. Let's go. Yup, that's right, Poppy Putin. I took your gold. And guess where it went? Right into the most wanted guild bank. Much appreciated deposit. 200 gold. We're now 200 gold richer. Thank you, Red Empire. Much appreciated.
Okay.
Wrecked. Honestly, I'm really happy I could inject some
I mean, that's a little bit of an own, but it's not really that big of a deal. It's 200 gold. Come on.
comedy into this, because otherwise it's been a really depressing video. But that being said, it didn't stay positive for long, because shortly after this happened, the event took a serious turn for the worse. You see, this event wasn't going as planned for the Red Empire. We waited about an hour and a half and the Alliance were nowhere to be found. They didn't show up. The event was a flop. I'm not exactly sure why the Alliance didn't show up to this event. I've been told by the leaders over on the Alliance side that the Red Empire just shouted a date and time at them and expected everybody to comply. I don't have anything to confirm that, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter because the Red Empire and Poppy...
It's classic WoW 200 gold. It's classic WoW 200 gold from a gigantic WoW guild that's been doing this shit forever, that probably owns the server, that is the dominant Horde faction over there. So I wouldn't be surprised that 200 gold really just means nothing to them. Right? You think about it at economy of scale, right? $1 million is a lot to an individual. It's nothing to a business. Same kind of idea. Preset bench, it's a bunch of little kids that learned a bad word, and because it's taboo, they bandy it about like they're getting away with something naughty. Yeah, it's not really like, man, it's not even true edge anymore. It's just kind of retarded, if I'm being honest. My problem with this level of trolling, of just like slapping out the N-word and stuff like that, is there's no creativity. There's no building behind it, right? I've seen things like if Cookie Monster bakes, one cookie an hour in 7 ovens, that there was some creativity behind that. Right, baiting people into saying that they agree with Hitler and stuff like that. When you're just slapping out the word, it's like, it's low tier, it's uncreative. I don't even care that it's childish. It's just kind of bland. That's the problem with it.
Putin were pissed, and they needed someone to blame. Of course, you weren't going to find the Red Empire admitting their own failure for their flopped event. They needed someone to pin it on, which led them to their next target. This guy. A small streamer named I Eat Orc. This guy, I Eat Orc, is a brand new streamer. He's the guild master of an up-and-coming guild on Night Slayer called Final Strike, and he currently has 293 followers on Twitch. I Eat Orc was streaming live during the time of this event over on the Alliance side, which was supposed to be the group that was coming to fight the Red Empire. So when they didn't show up, they chose to pin the entire thing on him. What the Red Empire did next is going to look pretty familiar for you guys by now. It was around this time the Red Empire found I Eat Orc's stream and started using it to gain information on the Alliance to see whether they were coming or not.
This fucking follow I Eat Orc guy so fucking literally has in his stream title, The Invasion of Ogremar starting soon. And he changed his stream title now. What a fucking
Okay, I see it how it is. All right, I understand now. This makes a little bit more sense. So their guild, effectively what they do is they pick a target, and Nightman was the target for the week or the month. And when they get bored of him, they pick a new target and then just go after someone else. That's all they do, right? It's a great way to, get your guild to come together to target something. But the problem is you need to keep on picking new targets over and over again, because if you don't, then it falls out of like some degree of excitement that these people get out of it. And when they don't get that excitement anymore, they're going to leave the guild. So this is like strategy where he has to keep picking new targets over and over again. It's a short-term strategy that he's trying to extend out into a long-term one. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Puppy Putin literally sounds like a dude who could scream up the stairs from a basement asking his mom for pizza rolls. It's bold of you to assume that Puppy Putin's mom still lives in the same house as him. I would assume that her dead corpse probably has a bunch of flies around it while she's lying upstairs, and he's just sitting there in his room, like surrounded by shit and piss jugs, and hasn't even checked on her in the last 2 to 3 months. Then again, I suppose he might die from starvation if that occurred. Someone has to get him chicken tendies. So maybe she is still alive. I don't know. That one's up for debate. I actually gave props to the Red Empire for being a freedom of speech based guild. and all they did in return was link me an old channel stream VOD where I fought into a microphone. So basically, you're confirming what I already knew here, Benji, right? These guys are low tier, right? They have no degree of creativity behind what they're doing. They're very baseline in their trolling. There's no spark of wonder behind how they fuck with people. That's what you're confirming to me. Like, the slurs and shit doesn't even bother me, but it seems like Nightman's a really soft guy, and this must have really got under his skin if he went this far.
Unreal.
Change the stream title.
Yeah. That's my defense. That's my defense. Actual fucking.
And there it was. They had their next target. Aidork.
There you go. Like I said, it's strategy. It's how you keep people around, especially when you've got a group of people in your guild who are always like this. If they are not getting this entertainment, they're going to fuck off and find it somewhere else.
Was not a key player in this event. He was just a streamer who was streaming the other side. He has 294 followers. He's a GM of a small guild. You think he's going to rock up with enough people to counter a 300-man defense that Poppy Putin had organized? Hell no. But just like what had happened to me, they saw a target and they went for it.
Okay.
Aidork thinks he's slick, but he doesn't realize he's actually like literally killed his fucking guild in one night.
Yeah.
Like killed his fucking guild.
Okay, this is just average shit talking.
Hey, he griefed his own fucking guild trying to grief us. Like, what are you doing, you fucking
When I heard Poppy Putin say that Aidork had killed his guild in one night, I knew exactly what he meant. I knew exactly what they were about to do to him. The same exact things they had done to me. The Red Empire.
Yeah, they needed a fresh target. That's going to happen. I was part of the trolling group back in Counter-Strike days, but all it ended up doing was cannibalizing itself with endless infighting due to the lack of new targets. Yes. And that's what's going to happen to these guys as well, right? You've already seen the pattern play out. When these guys eventually run out of targets, the same thing is going to happen. The thing that Nightman's done here that he may not realize is that this is kind of an advertisement for these kind of people to find this guild, want to be a part of it, because now he's just amplified their reach. This is going to have an unintended consequence, but I do have to give Nightman props because at least he's taking advantage of the situation and getting something out of it.
Empire took to the Night Slayer Discord and began harassing Aidork in the same way they'd done to me. They threatened his guild and his stream, called for everyone to report him and me, even though I had nothing to do with this, and ultimately used this community Discord server to terrorize someone once again. But of course, it didn't stop there. Aidork ended up leaving the Night Slayer Discord, and since the Red Empire could no longer harass him there, they did exactly what they did to me. They sent their lackeys to his Discord. Using the Night Slayer PvP Discord server, they shared Aidork's personal Discord server link in order to flood it with people to harass him.
Okay.
Poppy Putin himself took part in this, pinging everyone in.
Same pattern. Exact same pattern. The lack of creativity with their trolling is killing me.
In a server, and a bunch of other Red Empire people joined in too. It looks like Aidork had to ban a bunch of people from his Discord server and eventually turned off invites altogether. I want to remind you that this is not just guild v guild drama. This is the owner of the server Discord using that server Discord to target small streamers and send people after them. The Night Slayer Discord is
if Aidork played it well, he could have used this to amplify his viewership and skyrocket himself to the top of the categories if he did it right. Assuming that they targeted him long enough and hard enough, he could have baited them into amplifying it and got a real world benefit out of it.
Is not a safe place for the community.
Once,
I don't know exactly what they posted within his Discord server, but if someone had them do this exact same thing done to me, I can bet you it was a bunch of racial slurs. Want to know why I think that?
They keep saying
Because of this
something about
comment
capital
right here.
But I have no idea what that even means.
Ah, gee. Looks
Baited him
familiar,
into
doesn't it?
explaining what per capita
That's because that's the
is to
same
his
exact
stream.
shit they did to me.
Too
That's the
easy.
exact same way that they started the Nightman is racist rumor, and now in front of our very eyes, we're watching them do it to someone else.
It's the same cycles upon cycles upon cycles. The worst part about the Red Empire is that they are uncreative as fuck. They just follow the same pattern over and over again. They don't do new shit, they just do the same shit again and again.
This is what they do.
But I don't think Lou's message was heard. Ooh. Oh, it's a moth. Let me play it again. Thank you for pointing that out, Filter.
Was in a lefty stream once, streamers started ripping on anti-immigration people. So I post, Yeah, those guys are dumb. They keep saying something about per capital, but I have no idea what that even means. Baited him into explaining what per capita is to his stream. Too easy.
You see, now that's exactly what I mean. That's thank you, Lou. I'm really glad I went back and saw that. You see, now that's the kind of trolling that you could bait people into with stun locking them. That's the point. There's some level of creativity there, right? I appreciate that because that's the best way to do it. Is something new, fucking with them and stun locking them. I appreciate those levels of creativity. This is just the same pattern playing over and over again with a new target each and every single time. How much do you want to release the Rose Hardcore? $25 million.
This is how they harass people. This is how they go after content creators. And it works. I know what it's like to go through this, and it sucks. All you can do is just hope they leave you alone. But I tried that, and it didn't work. So here we are.
No, they just hadn't found a new target yet.
That literally stemmed from the first event on the first day of me infiltrating them, by the way. I wasn't even in the guild yet, which leads me to the next phase of my mission. Even though I already had enough evidence to probably wrap up this entire case, I came here to infiltrate their guild, and that still needed to be done. So I sat and waited for the perfect moment to come, and just as I had planned, it finally did.
If anybody needs a PvP guild, please whisper anybody in the Red Empire if you would like to join.
Yeah, I could think of someone.
Okay. Fidel Castro invited. The fucking names in this shit. USD Gresh. I don't play in Monopoly money. These guys are just old WoW PvPers reliving their old high school days and using their new ways to troll and harass. It's not even new ways to troll and harass. It's the same thing. I've seen this for like 20 years of my fucking life. It's just the same thing. They're just using a different tool to accomplish the same thing.
That was actually way easier than I thought it was going to be, I'm not going to lie. But just like that, I was in. However, little did I know that what I would find behind the red curtain would be the most shocking discovery I've found yet.
Oh my God, someone's going to say the N word and it's going to be devastating, isn't it?
When I set out to infiltrate the Red Empire, I knew I was going to find some pretty gnarly stuff. But to be honest, nothing could have prepared me for just how deep this stuff goes. Because there was another layer to the Red Empire that I needed to crack. Their Discord. And this one was much harder. You see, even though Poppy Putin was the owner of the Night Slayer Discord for the entire Night Slayer server, he also has his own personal Discord for his guild, the Red Empire, as well. Now that I was in their guild, I needed to blend in because my mission was not done yet. So I did my best to seem like a normal guild member. I offered help with heroics. I did my dailies any chance I could, just so I wasn't AFK in chat. I needed to seem normal because their Discord was under tight wraps. They weren't just going to let anyone in, which you'll soon see was for pretty obvious reasons. When you join the Red Empire's Discord, you don't just automatically have access to the entire thing. You literally have to fill out a whole form, and then they have to review it and accept you in order for you to gain access. And in order to gain access, I was going to have to gain their trust first. So
he might have had to say a racial slur in the form. Gasp. What up, Edward? How you doing? They were secretly gay in the Discord. Yeah, it's just going to be like a bunch of fat dudes fucking each other at this point.
After a few days of being the Red Empire's favorite Blood Elf baddie, I decided it was time to infiltrate their Discord. So I filled out the application as best as I could. And after about a day of waiting, I was in. That's right. I was behind the red curtain. The first channel I went to after gaining access was this one, their guild announcements. And what I would find next was truly shocking. Because their guild announcements aren't just guild announcements. They're lists of every guild in which they've attacked. So I'm just going through these announcements in the Red Empire Discord, and they are truly unhinged. I just wanted to read a few of these for you guys.
So, see, this is disappointing. This is disappointing from the Red Empire. They're not the most toxic guild. They're the most boring guild. It's the same fucking pattern over and over and over and over again. They can't come up with something new. Oh, fuck.
Short war with Golden Boys, must be another guild, is over. It ended in total absolute victory for the Empire. They ceased to exist. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, wow. This is the message that I sent in my Discord server when I was initially pissed off at Poppy Putin for banning me from the Night Slayer Discord. Look, that was the day he sent everyone into my Discord server. Look at this one. Holy crap. Every guild that has crossed us either ceased to exist, dodges, or it slithers into the shadows. This is not propaganda. These are facts. Look. They just list a bunch of other guilds that they've harassed. This is him, the man who disbanded Golden Boys, The Guard, Game Over, Delete, and many other guilds whose names I don't even recall, Breaker of Coalition, and the bane of all streamers. He just flat out is proud of it, dude. We are the...
Yeah, because he's been doing the same thing for fucking ever. Of course he's proud of it. He's got nothing else to be proud of. I think I'm about to see parallels back to when I was a mod in a YouTuber's Discord way back when. Yeah, probably. You're probably going to see the same thing repeated ad nauseum at this point. This video is a chain of internet blog titles. So much flair, so little payoff. Yeah, the payoff's been kind of bland. I'm going to be honest. The payoff's been kind of bland. This just seems like a Spurg war. Honestly, this just seems like a Spurg war.
The guild killers. We are the Discord bombers. The boogeymen of Classic. Yeah. We are the content killers, the guild destroyers, the rightful owners of Night Slayer. We are supreme. Every guild crumbles to us. The Guard, dead. Golden Boys, defeated. ISR, farmed. Big PvP, forced to hide in cities and play on private servers. Final Strike, IE Orcs Guild, globaled. Most Wanted, essentially disbanded.
That's not true. In fact, Most Wanted has had more people online than the Red Empire lately.
War, violence, beams, slurs. It took every ounce of strength within my body not to die from cringe while reading those announcements.
But if I learned anything from reading the Red Empire's announcements, it's that their harassment towards me or Most Wanted, my guild, is not special at all. We're just one of dozens or who knows how many guilds that they've done this to.
The boogeymen of Classic, mildly racist, annoying tards. Yeah, that's about right. Here's the thing, right? Here's what's kind of, I don't know, pissing me off is not the right word. It's more like a fly that keeps coming near your food that you need to wave away, right? He keeps on building this up. He keeps on over-dramatizing this, right? He keeps on, like, making these people seem like they're walking out into the streets, dragging people out of their homes and sawing their heads off with bread knives. They're just being internet retards. Like, what did you expect?
This is their entire thing. The Red Empire is a guild that prides themselves in destroying other guilds, not through PvP.
Yeah.
This is not fun in-game stuff. They do this through harassment, through rumors, through lies and deception on social media, Discord. This has nothing to do with PvP. This is an organization that was solely created to spread hate and toxicity under the guise of a PvP guild in a game that's supposed to be.
Raises his hand. Teacher, can we move on from the children squabbling in the yard? You will sit here and watch your slop. No bathroom breaks. In fact, see me after class. Don't wear pants.
Be about the community. How could something like this exist for so long? Actually, I know exactly how, and I'll tell you a lot more about that a little bit later. Because for now, there's still plenty to uncover in this Discord server.
Oh, wow, look at this. This is where this guy posted a YouTube video about me, literally saying all the stuff that they've said, how I'm a racist and all that, and then posted it to YouTube, and I had to get a copyright strike taken down. This is their reaction. Look at this. Claimants, Nightman LOLs, that's right, get wrecked. This video repeatedly uses my copyright logo. Well, it did.
As I was scrolling through the Red Empire's Discord server, I noticed this term being repeatedly used. They call it N-bombing. So naturally being curious, I decided
Yeah, the lowest tier of trolling. Just like a 1 out of 10.
to do a little search on the word bomb to see what I would find. Bomb this Discord with your favorite slur, and then he tags the whole server. It's big PvP server. Wow. Another Discord server. Bomb this now. All in, full retard. At everyone. I don't know whose server it is because they turned off invites. This guy snitched on me for N-bombing him and then died 30 seconds later. Some Twitch streamer. I think I know what N-bombing is. Aw, man. No hit Jerome. What? 100 gold per Jerome grief / kill on stream. 100 gold if you bomb his Discord on stream. 500 gold if you wipe his raid on stream. Punish this freak. I want to see him unable to play the game. This is our current mission. Make me proud, comrades. Dude, Jerome doesn't deserve that.
The emotional element of this, but it's just the same pattern over and over
They're
again.
giving out gold for people who will grief him and say the N-word on his stream.
Well, of course they will. Duh, of course they will. Because otherwise, what's the point if there's no incentive?
What the fuck?
Some random posted your bomb, LMAO, and he tags the guy who did it. This guy lusts. Nightman is a doxer? Wait.
Hey, Nightman, why you dodging, doxing, fuck?
Talk over.
This is the one that I was there for. This is the one that happened to me when I was raiding Naxxramas, and this is the guy who did it. Lusts. N-bomb incoming, letting everyone...
Wait, you guys are getting paid to say it? Yeah, you've been working for free like a Reddit janitor, Lou. You gotta get on this shit.
know to go watch it happen live. So this is something they do regularly. On a regular basis, the streamers. They come into their stream and they yell the N-word. I don't even have words for this, man.
Can I have the N-word pass to earn 100 gold? No, you've got to pay me 100 gold. Real gold. Then I'll find all the black guys in my neighborhood and I'll get them to make a video saying, congratulations, here's your N-word pass.
And the fact that they're just doing it out here in the open is the craziest part to me. I talked to some of the streamers that this has happened to, and they told me that their VODs on Twitch were taken down for having the N-word in them because of this. And I'm wondering if that's one of the reasons they do this to begin with. Regardless, these streamers can't hang out in their own.
So the N-word is a word that when you're on Twitch under the moderation things, you can just block the word. So that just means that these people weren't bright enough to find the back end of Twitch, go and find the blocked words and then put it in there. That's what I'm hearing here.
Their own personal discords with their...
You can fight back against this stuff. You lose a VOD, it's not a big deal. So you lose one VOD. That's fine. Just prepare it for the next time.
Community anymore. They now have to keep their Discord servers locked down and vet every member they get into comms with because they're afraid that that person's going to just be someone from the Red Empire who's going to scream the N-word while they're streaming live. You can't make this shit up, man. And if that's not enough proof for you, just wait till you see what I found next. I heard from people before...
Is this guy the mythical modern audience WoW has been trying to attract? No, I don't think so. He's just soft. He's playing WoW Classic. This obviously really bothers him and gets under his skin. I think the most egregious thing that I've seen them do is dox the guy IRL. Right? That's fucked up. He kind of did give away the info himself by blundering and making a mistake and giving them that information. But like, I don't think this is the modern audience kind of thing. This guy just seems soft, and there's nothing wrong with that. But come on, like, you're going into a place where you know a bunch of shitters are going to attack you. He stepped into the house and waited for this to happen. He could have just avoided this entirely. Maybe he would have still ended up a target because they seem to target these people specifically, but that's not that bad to deal with. Like, the worst thing so far is that they got his IRL address. That's the worst thing that's happened. Fun fact, in Guild Wars 2, the Commander Squad message is not censored. So if a streamer is in your squad, you can N-bomb their stream. That sounds like the perfect kind of ArenaNet problem that will never be solved because the ArenaNet moderation team is more interested in policing everyone else outside of the game and not inside of it.
I got into the Red Empire that their soundboard in Discord was atrocious, and I just had to see it for myself. This next part was really risky because I actually had to join a voice channel, and at any second, one of them could have just joined in and started talking to me or asking me questions. So I waited until 3:35 a.m., and then I joined a voice channel. They literally have recordings of them doing their Discord bombs in their soundboard.
Are you surprised? Really?
They even have one titled Poppy, which by the voice and the title, I can only assume is Poppy Putin doing it himself.
I mean, this is just par for the course.
What's crazy is literally as I was going through their soundboard at 3 a.m, I was AFK and WoW on another window, and they're literally spamming my name and saying that I'm racist when I tab over as I'm going through their...
My thing is, when I play a game, I want to be able to have people to still play against or with, and behavior like this, if not taken care of at some point, can kill a community. Your best option around this, let's be honest, because moderation's not going to fix this. MMO moderation never fixes these problems. That's why these guys have been there for a very long time. Your best option is to not play on that server. That's the best option you've got. Like, what is the end goal? Be the only people playing on the server. Where is the fun in that? So their end goal is to keep on picking targets, and it's kind of a self-destructive cycle when it comes to these things, Iconic. So they keep on looking for new people to attack. The reason they went after a small streamer who's got very few viewers or is not very big on Twitch and is playing WoW and stuff like that is because the cracks are already showing. They're running out of targets. Right? Basically, they're going to be slowly setting that server on fire, and they either need to then transfer all to a different server, do the same thing all over again, or they're going to disband, right? That's the only two options they have. So the only choice you really have against this, because moderation's not fixing it, is just don't be on that server. Right, you got to be dealing with these shitters nonstop. But if these guys dominate the server, the best option you've got is don't be on the server. I'm 99% sure there are compilations on Soyjack's raid of them trolling this guy. He's very easy to get a reaction out of if I'm thinking he's the right person. He may be, right? He seems like he's very sensitive to these kinds of things, and he's stepping into these spaces. So yeah, you will get a reaction out of a guy like this.
Their Discord, listening to them scream the N-word. The irony. Even at 3 a.m, these guys do not take a break. Luckily, I was able to get in and out of there before anyone had noticed me. From what I've seen, there's deeper layers to the Red Empire Discord that I could probably infiltrate if I stuck around longer, but at this point, I've seen all that I need to see. However, just when I was about to put a bow on this entire case, Poppy Putin announces another guild event. And of course, I was curious. So come Tuesday at 7 p.m. server, I was online and waiting. But what I wasn't prepared for was Poppy Putin's post trying to hype everyone up. To all my liars, thieves, and convicted felons, be online at 7 p.m. server, and look at what he posted. The Red Empire, Horde Soviet Guild, built on lies, powered by theft. Loyalty is a tool. Deceit is a weapon. Crime is our creed. If you'd ask Poppy Putin and the Red Empire, I'm sure they would tell you that this is just roleplay.
No, that's just their branding. That's just how they've branded themselves. They know what they are, and they know what they're doing, so they're going to keep on doing it. Like, yeah. What about blocking them while on the server? If you can, they'll probably still stream snipe you, or they'll track you down and kill you if it's a PvP server. You're not going to fix this by doing that. You just need to not be there. That's that simple. If you don't want to deal with this, the option is get up and leave. Go do something else. Go play on a different server. You're not going to stop these guys because the moderation teams have already chosen to not stop these guys at this point in time.
But at what point is this roleplay when you're using deceit to completely ruin people's image with lies that you've made up out of thin air? This is not roleplay. This is something that they actually do.
You see, Edward, you say this is pussy vibes from this guy, right? I think that he's playing this up as much as possible on his end to try and get back at them as much as possible because they doxed him, or they at least got his home address and shit and started posting that. So I think he's got a vendetta against him, and I can't really blame him for having a vendetta against them for doing that. So he's trying to hit them as hard as possible by playing all of this up. But the problem is he's just showing the same pattern of behavior over and over again. Like at this point, I get it. I know what they're doing. Everyone knows what they're doing.
They take this stuff outside of game and they use deceit as a weapon in order to dismantle their enemy guilds. They actually have an entire term in which they've coined for this that they call, I shit you not, Discord PvP. Time and time again, you will see them use this term in regards to the harassment that they do to people outside of game.
Okay, same pattern of behavior as before.
Discord. And normally with most toxic guilds, you would think this would be pretty easy to not engage with. However, Poppy Putin, the Red Empire's guildmaster, is the owner of the entire Night Slayer server Discord. So it's really not easy to avoid these guys. Historically, the server Discord was supposed to be a tool for the community, a resource for players either looking for a raid or trying to find a group.
So how did he get in control? Is that his personal Discord that he's managed to spread as far as possible?
Sell items and services. This is what the community Discord server is supposed to be for. However, since the Red Empire has taken ownership of the Night Slayer Discord, it has been used primarily for Discord PvP, to the point where they now have an entire section dedicated to it called the Hall of Shame. This is a section of the Discord server where they essentially shame members of the community for any wrongdoing that they may have done.
Wait, they're just laughing their asses off watching this. How is this a vendetta over them? Yeah, they're probably enjoying this. Right? They probably are enjoying this post and that this guy is that mad. What I'm saying is his vendetta is personal. And what he's doing is he's trying to expose them in a way, right? That's what he's doing. So he's playing up all these elements. But reality is the most egregious thing they did was weaponize his home address that they got a hold of. And below that, it's just the same pattern of behavior. Right, he's trying to smear them as much as possible because they went after him. That's how he sees this going. That's the issue. Nightman is somehow shocked by how the guild is acting, but this has been the most obvious behavior. Yeah, I don't know. Like, he's trying to play it up as if it's shocking and shit like that. But, I mean, this is average unemployment behavior. From my knowledge, it was made by other people and it was handed to him when the original leader of that Discord stopped playing. Okay, so basically he got handed the server and he turned it into this. So he owns the server, so it's his server. Basically, he's effectively taken control of it and weaponized it. I mean, that's going to happen most of the time whenever you get a piece of shit who's in control of these things. So it's kind of an unsurprising way to go. It's just how it
while
is.
a portion of the reasons they're shaming people are legit, like ninja looting, etc., a good amount of these shame posts are not legitimate. Poppy Putin knows that deceit is a weapon. So he uses the Hall of Shame category as a weapon
Yeah, that was obvious.
against anyone who may go against him.
This is where he made the post about me and then pinged all 32,000 members of the server.
And I'm not the only one. They're making posts about a lot of people. I can't confirm which of their claims within the Hall of Shame posts are legit or not. I'll let you guys be the judge of it, but it's very evident that this is something in which he does.
Anyone who stands against Poppy Putin or talks shit about him will get the most wanted treatment.
This has happened to me, and this has happened to other people. Go see it for yourself. Seeing Poppy Putin's deceit is a weapon post in their Discord before the event made me realize how important it is to have to make this point that I just did.
Wait, the server has like 120k players. This drama is very tiny. You could destroy this guild if you wanted to. Is there any other guild on the Night Slayer server that is as big, as coordinated as these guys? Because it'll be harder to get rid of them. Because they have the group of spurgs that they need to keep continually doing this non-stop. And it doesn't seem like everyone else on the server is as organized as them, at least from this. So the potential for them to be destroyed is probably lower than what you think it is, because it doesn't seem like there's any opposing force to what they're doing.
These guys know what they're doing. They acknowledge it, and they're going to keep doing it. But we're supposed to be at this guild event, so let's get an invite.
Let's whisper Sledgehammer.
All right, we're in. It was time to go undercover once again. And once again, I needed to infiltrate their communications. However, this time wasn't going to be as easy, because unlike last time when it was the entire server in voice comms with them, this time it's just me and the guild in close quarters. So I needed to be as inconspicuous as possible.
I waited until the time was right, and then I infiltrated their Discord communications. Everyone had rolled out, and I was told we were headed to Netherstorm, so I took off and started to head there myself.
And what they ended up doing when I got there was pretty toxic. The event was literally just camping the graveyard at Tempest Keep.
Okay, again, low-level trolling. Not really something that's that impressive. I've seen this a million times playing WoW. The thing is, he's using this video as a weapon because Asmongold already reacted to this and a bunch of others, and Asmon backed Nightman and having all these eyes on the issue. Yes, because say what you want about Nightman, right? Like I said, he's capitalizing off of this video and he's fighting back. This is the way to weaponize people against this guild, right? If he wants to fight back and destroy them, this was probably the biggest move he could have made. People who have seen this video have already went and game them the same medicine they've been giving to others spamming shit. Well, yeah, okay. What did they expect? If it hit a wider audience, now it's time for them to get a taste of their own medicine. I expect that to happen. I'm going to be honest, right? What I know about a lot of these guild servers who act the way that these guys do is usually they're very efficient and effective at doling this out to other people. Because what they're doing is they're picking smaller targets. They're picking less coordinated targets. The second a larger group comes along and starts doing the same to them, then they're kind of fucked, right? Because they're not going to have the ability or the skill or the capability to take those guys down because they've been doing it to everyone else, but they don't know how to handle it when it's done to them. This is just average unemployment WoW behavior. Early WoW was kind of the place where funerals were not safe, but this guy is mad that low levels are getting ganked. Yeah, this is normal behavior on a PvP server. This is what's going to happen. Yeah, funerals were ganked. Events were ruined. You did it on a PvP server. A PvP server. Yeah, of course this shit's going to happen. Of course this is going to attract this kind of crowd to this. And of course, when a large group gets the idea, okay, we've now got a target. We can feel like the good guys by doing this to them that they've been doing to everyone else. It's going to happen to them. They doled it out. Now they've got to take it. And they deserve it. It's that simple. If you're going to throw punches, you've got to be able to take a few punches back. What I'll be interested to see is, are they able to take it back and keep going? Or do they start falling apart now? My bet on that is about 80-20, right? 80% they fall apart, 20 that they do take it on the chin and they keep going and they fight back and they stabilize. This is a mild American server drama that is not a big deal, just some retards having fun, nothing serious. Well, it stopped being it stopped being retards having fun when they started doxing him. Outside of that, I can agree with you with that.
Yep. For those that don't know, just to give you guys some context, this floating thing right here is the raid Tempest Keep. If you die in that raid, you spawn down here in the graveyard, but the thing is you spawn there alive. So if someone was to gank you at this graveyard, you wouldn't be able to get back up into your raid until that person stopped ganking you or you somehow escaped. That's all they did. For
average WoW classic PvP server behavior. Maybe I'm just so desensitized to this because I played WoW for so long that I've seen all these things happen.
For 2 hours. But you could bet eventually it took a turn and became even more toxic. And I want to make this clear, I'm not against camping the Summoning Stone or the graveyard at Tempest Keep. I mean, it is a PvP server after all, but after 2 hours, it does get a little bit repetitive.
He's not against it, but of course they're going to do it for as long as possible.
However, I was instantly glad
You're chosen to Asmongold watch your video. That was a very long time ago.
I came because I finally got to put a character name to the face of the guy who made up the entire Nightman is a racist rumor. Remember this part from the beginning? This guy, Coach, otherwise known as Hundo, when he joined the raid group, I finally got to put a character name to the name on Discord.
Let's get Hundo's Warlock summon, please.
And look at how he asked for a summon in raid chat.
Lonzo, I don't want to hear it. You're in a racist guild.
Okay.
All right.
But even though the slurs were already flying, the event eventually took a turn to become even more toxic. How could camping a graveyard outside of a raid be even more toxic, you ask? Well, it all started when a person from their rival guild, Big PvP, showed up at the graveyard.
Big PvP? One come out.
Shout out to all the healers.
Sounds like more fun. Oh, open world PvP. How terrible.
Out of range, some fucking big PvP shitter warrior.
Is that the guy that's been... Dude, wait. Didn't we kill him like 2 hours ago here?
Oh, he's dead again.
Now, I want to preface all this by saying that this guy was nobody special within Big PvP.
So when does, hey, I've got better things to do logic kick in when stuff like this happens? Arrow? You're missing one fundamental component of all of this. These are World of Warcraft classic players in Big 2026. So your answer is never. That's when. I never grew up playing WoW or PvP and MMOs, and even I can tell that this is pretty par for the course. Yes, anyone who knows even the mildest things about PvP communities and PvP groups, particularly within a game like World of Warcraft, this is just average behavior. You get so used to this, it stops bothering you. Yeah, of course they're going to spam out the N-word. Of course they're going to do that shit. Of course they're going to stream snipe people. You just kind of get used to it.
PvP. Big PvP has over 1,000 members across multiple expansions. This was just some random guy amongst their members. However, since he had that Big PvP guild tag, they decided to target him.
Where'd his body go?
I don't know, actually. Yeah, I suppose over here in the rocks. In the rocks.
Here, wait. I want to CC him. CC him. Don't kill this guy. Full CC. Kidnap. Do not kill him.
See, instead of just ganking this guy once or twice and then letting him get back to his raid, Poppy Putin chose to do what he called kidnapping. This is where they'll use various forms of crowd control to make it so that...
Yeah. Standard behavior. Again, standard PvP behavior.
This guy infinitely loses control of his character. Their plan wasn't to kill him. It was to keep him stuck there indefinitely.
You're not dodging him. Why are people dodging him?
They see...
So, yeah, keep him there. So the guy gets up from his PC, take a shit, come back, you're still CC'd. Open a tab, jack off, look back, alt-tab back into WoW. You're still CC'd. Yeah, write a novel. It'll stop eventually. It's really not that big of a deal. This has happened to me. This has happened to multiple people. You either get kidnapped, or they keep you stun locked in place, or they kill you over and over again. You can't be taking it this seriously, man. If you're this deeply invested in World of Warcraft and you're taking it this seriously, and you're on a PvP server, you're in trouble. You're in big, deep emotional trouble. Wanted to play in BNS PvP, but had no rig for it. First ever PvP experience was LOL. I'm not sure if I could say that was worse, but it's middling. League of Legends, you mean? Yeah, it's like really, it's some words in a chat. You know, it's some people griefing a game. You don't have to be there. You can just chill. Like, choosing to lose your mind over the shit is a personal decision. Right? You can just chill the fuck out, shrug your shoulders and go, okay, next game. Nah, I'll wait.
See this guy over and over, and they would not let him leave.
Oh my god, and he's a tank?
Is he really their tank? No,
I think so, dude. Yeah, you have to feel his sword.
Yeah, that makes sense.
We just kidnapped the raid's tank.
Or mind control him and then put a renew on him.
Okay, so reset the raid, reschedule it for a different time. You know that this is going to keep happening. Your raid's over at this point, bud. Question from the uneducated. How's this game server still running? Where does WoW get its money, and how do I get those people's jobs? So first you have to do a degree in stealing breast milk out of a fridge from usually a hospital or a birthing clinic. Once you've got that right and you can do so undetected for a little while, then you've got to be able to get an art degree where you specifically have a job posting where you cover up all the titties on all the paintings in the game. Then you have to be ready to work for someone who's a massive evil piece of shit to the point that he looks like Gallywix. And then maybe you'll get a job. Blizzard got this big because back in the day, WoW Vanilla was fucking gigantic. It's the biggest MMORPG to ever exist with a monthly sub, which meant they had recurring revenue. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. This is something that is now bought out by Microsoft, so they have infinite money to burn. Infinite. But I thought Anita Sarkeesian was the only woman that gets harassed and doxxed. Oh, yes, I'm sorry. Excuse me. That only happens to her.
They could tell by his gear that this guy was a tank.
Also, yeah, you do have to be a boss's son. I think if you want better advice than someone like me who would be an outsider to being inside a corporate office like Blizzard, you should probably hop over to a Pirate Software stream and ask him specifically. He would know. Did you know he's a second-generation Blizzard employee? He barely ever mentions it. Like, he's very secretive about it. You understand it happens, but the objective is to make these guys look like absolute villains so he can get people to go after them. Yes, he is. And he's succeeding so far. Regardless of what you can think that this is soft boy behavior, you can think he's a pussy, you can think all of that stuff, but he is succeeding in spearing them to get other people to go after this guild. And I'm sorry, I got no dog in this fight, but the people in that Night Slayer Discord, the people who are part of the Red Empire, they've made their bed. Now they have to lie in it. Now the same thing they've been doing to other people is going to start happening to them. It's just how it is. By the way, there were rumors that the Blizzard sexual assault drama was faked, and it was only like 10 people who were naughty, and they just wanted to make some changes in the industry. I think it's deeper than that, Newgash. I think it works like this because I've seen very many sexual assault cases, very many coercion cases working as a contractual project manager and systems engineer for a bunch of large companies and stuff. Whatever came out publicly is probably 10% of all the bad shit that happened to women in those offices. On the other side of this, what that did was it presented an opportunity for certain people to then take control and wrest the control of that company away from elements that didn't have anything to do with it, so that they get to control the narrative and decide what happens next. Good night, Lou. Thanks for stopping by. Also, I appreciate the Tangiers and the super chat. Go live your life, man. Jessica Price gets good advice from rando asshats. That's just like sexual assault. No, she was just fucking retarded. If you think the Jessica Price thing was a one-off, you are dead wrong. I bet the entire ArenaNet office is filled with people who are exactly like Jessica Price. WoW situation as a whole, a bunch of low-T men suddenly getting a lot of power over women, that never ends well. It never does.
Imagine doing a raid and your tank is held up outside because he's getting endlessly harassed by the Red Empire because of his guild tag.
Yeah, I saw him going to TK
So reschedule. That's the best you can do.
earlier.
He's trying to run away. He's trying so hard to run away.
No, he's got another 20, 30 minutes.
I reviewed my whole recording and it was about 30 minutes that they did this for, which is definitely enough time for your raid group to drop you. And even when some of the raid members suggested to kill this guy in a funny way, Poppy Putin just insisted on keeping him stuck there.
Oh, dude, should we take our weapons off and just punch him to death? Just jump him?
Nah, don't kill him at all.
Look,
Keep him
like I'm saying here for...
you know, he's just like this.
Kill the bowman on him. He's got a bowman on him.
Kill that bowman.
We just want to keep getting the polys off so we can keep getting his health back up.
Eventually, this dude just gave up and logged out.
He logged out. This motherfucker logged out.
But yeah, of course they're celebrating the win. Well, welcome to a PvP server in WoW. I'm gonna keep on saying it ad nauseum. This is average behavior for Spurgs.
But even though this guy alt F4'd and literally logged out, Poppy Putin wasn't done harassing him yet.
We kill him now, right? Before he...
No. He's not in the game anymore.
Okay.
Don't kill him, though. Don't kill him, though. All right, like 5 people stay right there. He's going to come back in. Everybody else, let's go back to the zone.
Even though this guy literally logged out of the game, Poppy Putin stationed 5 of us there to wait just in case he decided to come back. And since they could no longer harass this guy in game, Poppy Putin did what he does best. More Discord PvP.
Yo, isn't Out of Range in the Discord?
He's in the nice Discord, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, everybody tag him. Everybody tag him.
So of course, Poppy Putin and his cronies rushed to the PvP server Discord to harass this guy
Same pattern as before.
further and taunt him for being camped out of the game. But it wasn't long until he came back to try and see if he could make it to his raid.
We have 5 people waiting to see if he comes back in over there.
He's back.
Do it. I knew it. Don't kill him.
The second he came back, they were right there waiting to keep him infinitely CC'd so he could never return to his raid.
I knew he was going to come back in on the same layer. Here, just keep holding him. Yeah, kill the worm chaser and bring him back further away. I'm going to Nova him right here. He's Nova'd. We get a mind control.
Eventually, this dude realized they weren't going to let him go, and he's probably been kicked out of his raid by now, so he just called it quits altogether.
He did it again. He held it for it again.
I feel like the true win would be to just sit there and just full AFK and walk away and see how long they take. The true win behind this, right? There is no win condition here for a person like out of range when this is happening to you, right? The best you can do is just shrug your shoulders and not care, right? The best you can do is, well, I suppose it's been a bad day. Oh, well, we'll reorganize. We'll do something else. I'm going to go do something else. That's the best you got.
Was this funny because their raid's probably waiting on this dude?
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Imagine being like the main tank and like the whole raid's fucking waiting for you.
There he goes.
Yeah, you're the first that I've ever kidnapped.
For the rest of the event, I never saw that guy log back in. I don't know what happened to him, but if I can only guess, he was probably kicked out of his raid group and probably didn't finish Tempest Keep that night. This is more than just PvP. This is more than just camping someone. This was griefing his entire raid night. This is something that players look forward to all week and specifically carve out time in their schedules for. For all we know, that was just some dad on the one night a week he gets to play the game. But because he was in the wrong guild and at the wrong place at the wrong time, he got griefed by the Red Empire until he had to log out of the game twice. And if that isn't bad enough, the owner...
A guild full of losers. Yeah. No, this is just losers being losers. And the most infuriating part is still that they've got no creativity whatsoever in their trolling. It's the same pattern behavior that's been happening for over 2 decades. Like, no creativity. Nothing new. The Giga Chad move is to hop on an alt account and then keep going and let your main account keep getting kidnapped. That is assuming that you've got an alt, right? And if you've got an alt and you're on the same account, what's going to happen is you just got to log out of that. When you log back in, log into your alt, and then, yeah, keep going. But you probably, if you're doing Tempest Keep, the likelihood of you having 2 tanks that are alts that are geared enough to do this is very, very fucking low.
Or the whole server Discord starts spam tagging him with his cronies to rub it.
Careful. Poppy Putin could be watching this right now. If he is, what's wrong with you, dude? You bore me. You're tiresome. You're bland. Where's the creativity in your trolling? Where's the baiting people into believing that, like, getting them to say something like Hitler was right or something like that? Where's the baiting? Where's the mental fuckery? This is just the same shit that's been going over and over and over and over and over again nonstop, dude. It's boring. You'll be next. Ooh, oh, what are they going to do? Spam the N-word? Oh, no. My broken little heart. Oh, fuck. I just realized how much this guy has played, this alt. He has a Nether Drake, which means he went and did the fucking daily till he got revered, which took months to farm. Yeah, no, I did notice the Nether Drake as well. Yeah, he really invested into this. He went deep into it. Also, yeah, Poppy Putin is kind of a pussy, right? He's kind of a retard and a pussy at the same time, because he's so scared of, like, just banging out a PvP battle against someone who is his size or bigger, that all they can really do is punch down and go after smaller people than him. Demo Blue, I don't even care. Just doesn't work. You're just not the same as Demo Red. You keep trying, but you're just not the same, bud. Or better yet, here's one, since I know you watched The Boys, a goddamn disappointment. Yeah. It's just boring, man.
If anything, this just showed me that it doesn't matter who you are or what you do. The Red Empire will target anyone that's convenient for them. From what I saw, they continued messing with him the next day in Discord, but he didn't give them much of a reaction, which was smart because if he did, it could have gotten much worse. Once the event was over, Poppy Putin made a guild announcement saying that he was proud of everyone in the guild and that they will keep pushing these guilds to the breaking point. So I've made a lot of claims about the Red Empire, and now it's time to finally address all their claims against me.
This is why you're not welcome in Palestine. I'm fine with that.
In the Red Empire's campaign against me, they have said several things, all of which I'm going to address right now. The first, and in my opinion, most frustrating thing they've been saying about me is that I'm not a racist, guys. I'm not a racist. That's what he's about to say. I can see it coming. They've been saying this to basically anyone who could possibly come in contact with me, and they just say, DM me for proof, and then when you DM them, they never reply to you. The reason why this is so frustrating is because most people don't look that far into it. They just hear, oh, that guy's a racist. Damn, fuck that guy. And that's their stance that they take. I've seen it literally happen to people that I know. People who I weren't that close with, like acquaintances within the WoW community, have taken a stance against me because they think I'm a racist. And that sucks. That hurts. Because the truth is, I've never said a racist thing in my life. There's nothing sus I said on stream. There's no text. There's no proof. There's nothing.
In your life? Your whole life? Really? Since day one? Since the day you were shot out of a vagina, you never said anything racist? Not once? Come now. We're all people. We're all human beings. We all get lost in the throes of passion sometimes.
Me and my officers work really hard to make sure our community is inclusive. We've kicked people out of the guild for using slurs before. I literally found Red Empire members in their Discord talking about how they left my guild because they were told not to use slurs. At the end of the day, this was something that they said purely to rage bait me. They've even flat out admit this, and it worked. It got me. They saw that it made me upset, so they used that as their ammunition. How the fuck was I supposed to know they were going to be shouting it from the rooftops? Could I have handled being rage baited better? Sure, yeah.
Yes, absolutely you could have.
I can admit that. I definitely could have. Lesson learned there. I've only been a content creator for like 13 months. How was I supposed to know that people would take things this far? But since we're on the topic of racism, I just want to take a moment to say that their open and proud use of these slurs as if it's some kind of funny joke is the most cringe shit that I've ever seen in my entire life. What is this fucking...
It doesn't even register as cringe. It's just boring. It's just uninspired. Back in the day, there used to be some real solid slurs against everyone. You know, Mayo Monkey, Moon Cricket. There's just better out there, and the lack of creativity is just fucking killing me, man.
In 1906? What are you, 13 years old in a freaking Call of Duty lobby? You guys are 40, and you need to get your shit together. This shit's disgusting. Racism is not a joke. The N-word is not a meme. Do better. The WoW community is supposed to be for everyone. You think Classic Plus is going to thrive when someone joins the server Discord and the owner of the whole server calls them the N-word? Hell no. As long as people like this are running our community, Classic Plus is cooked. It doesn't matter how...
Classic Plus is perfectly fine. Classic Plus doesn't give a fuck because if they did, they would have taken care of these people. This is small time. I'm sorry, Classic Plus is way bigger than just one server. Not even close.
How good the game is. If shit like this is able to fly within our community, the game cannot grow, period. All right, the next thing they've been saying in their campaign against me is that I've made IRL threats against them. I'm just going to keep this part simple. Nothing I've said was a threat. It's really easy to take things out of context, but as someone who's had my address shared online and sent to anyone who may dislike me by people with foul intentions, I will defend myself and my family if any.
That's fair. That's fair. That I can agree with him on. That's a fair point. Doxing him, that's taking it over the line. You show up at this guy's house, if he blows a big fucking hole in your chest, if he turns you into red spaghetti on the front lawn, you deserve it. That I can agree with. That's completely fair. You go to his house and he's armed and he decides, okay, well, you're about to lose both of your kneecaps. That's your fault, not his.
Anybody comes to my home. All right, the next thing they've been saying about me is that I'm a doxer, which I think is hilarious considering I'm the one who's personally been doxed. But they're saying it, so let's address it. But before we do that, let's define doxing. Doxing is the act of publicly exposing someone's private or identifying information, like their home address.
Do we really need a fucking... God, do we need a definition? We know what you're talking about, and you put this definition all like 43 minutes into the shit. You could have just put it here at the beginning for the people who don't know what that means, but I'm pretty sure that all of these people are unemployed enough that they know what doxing is. You didn't need to explain it.
Phone number or workplace without their consent. The reason the Red Empire is calling me a doxer is because of these screenshots right here. These are screenshots of what was supposed to be a private conversation in a private chat that got leaked to the Red Empire, where I am...
You're about to have a nice new orifice for them to fuck in prison? Nah, don't leave them alive. Turn them into fertilizer. They showed up at your house with ill intentions. Shall not be infringed.
Clearly trying to find Poppy Putin's IRL name. In these screenshots, I literally say that I'm not going to harm anyone and that once I have the name, I'm suing the brakes off of this dude. I am an up-and-coming content creator, and all of a sudden, people are spam whispering my community lies saying that I'm a racist. So I'm lost. I had no...
Okay, but what charges are you going to be able to sue the person on? That's the really important part. Padding the runtime. No, I don't think he cares. I just think that's that's like a misread of how you make one of these videos, but that's fine because like he said, he's only been doing this for 13 months. He doesn't know, what the right way is to do this. I wonder what he would be able to sue them under. And I do support his ability to sue them, right? You go after someone like this. You start revealing their private information, where they live, shit like that. If you can sue them and fuck them over as hard as possible, fuck them over, screw them into the goddamn dirt, right? Use them as an example. Do not hold back.
No idea what to do. So I made an appointment to go sit down with a lawyer to see what my options were. That lawyer told me that if all I had was the name Poppy Putin from World of Warcraft, I wouldn't have a leg to stand on. I needed a real name to connect these things to. And at first, it was just about protecting my name and my image and my brand from these lies that they've made about me. But then it eventually turned to full-on harassment.
Wait, by the way, did they dox him? Because we only heard the GM retard called his name. They did dox him because in the beginning it showed his home address for someone who weaponized his address that through PayPal and shit like that. So I have zero doubt in my mind that these guys are so uncreative that they're not smart enough to limit themselves to keeping this online, right? Yeah, all it takes is one of them. All it takes is one of them to do that. And I would be unsurprised to find out that these fucking spooks did everything to spread his address around as much as possible. He's probably going for defamation, but he's going to struggle to prove it affected him financially as a small content creator. I think defamation is probably the wrong charge to go for, but I don't know. Like, look, I don't know the American legal system. I don't know what charge would stick. I think something like there's got to be some legal thing around the idea of spreading someone's address around with ill intent to as many people as possible, hoping someone's fucking crazy enough to show up at his house. I mean, this has happened in other MMOs. This has happened in WoW. This has happened in EVE. Shit like this has happened like in multiple MMOs for multiple years. So there has to be some kind of charge associated there that he can get them on. To be fair, the thing he left out about doxing is that public information about you does not count, i.e., you're an OPSEC demon who has your address on your socials. That's on you. The thing is, it wasn't on his socials. It was on a private PayPal transaction. So he might have them there.
Harassment, where they follow me to every online platform I go. So yes, I did go looking for his name, not to harass him, not to send it to anyone, not to dox him, but to protect myself and my family in case anything were to happen to us. I didn't share any of his information with anyone other than the proper authorities. So no, I am not a doxer. All right, the last claim they're making about me is that I was conspiring to mass report people. Yup, I did that. Didn't expect that, did you? Well, let me tell you why. I have been trying.
I mean, yeah, duh. Duh, you're going to mass report these people. Duh.
To contact Blizzard about the harassment that I've been receiving from these people and other people for the better part of 2 years now. Myself and my community have submitted dozens of tickets to Blizzard.
Okay, I did need a comedy element there. He thinks that they're gonna do something about it. Oh, he thinks that the WoW mods are gonna do something about it. That's precious. That's precious. As someone who's played WoW for a very fucking long time, they're not doing shit
about this. And every single time without...
They might do something now, right? But understand that moderation teams only behave on public pressure, and they only behave and do anything actionable whatsoever when there's the chance of a public PR backlash at all. The fact that this video blew the fuck up, the fact that maybe Asmongold's watched this, the fact that they are like this is now expanded into something else means that Blizzard may be pressurized into doing something. But if this never blew up, this would just keep going ad nauseum for infinity.
Fail, we get an AI response telling us to right-click their name in-game and click the report button. There's no one out there to hear what we have to say. We've tried right-clicking their name in-game. It does nothing. So we went online.
It really does nothing. It's not hooked up to anything. It's just to make you feel better. You remember the nipple twisting episode in South Park? That's Blizzard. Yeah. We're sorry. Oh. Yeah, that's the moderation team. They're not doing shit. Unless there's some form of public backlash, they won't do a goddamn thing. Think, like, if you want a good example of this, think about how long it took Guild Wars 2's internal team to get rid of Jessica Price. How big did that public backlash have to get before they even bothered doing a goddamn thing about it? And the only reason they did anything about it was because they realized it was bad for PR. That's the only reason they did anything. Not because they wanted to do the right thing or do what's right for their community. That's not how this works. That's not how any of this works. These people only move the needle when they realize something bad PR-wise is about to happen to their company.
And tried to submit tickets. That doesn't work either. I literally went to LinkedIn and paid for a premium account just to message the WoW devs and see if they would hear me out. But I never got a reply.
Man, this guy went deep.
You can literally go look for yourself on the Blizzard website and try and submit a ticket. And there is literally no way to submit a ticket for harassment. What are you supposed to do when there's not even an option to submit a ticket for harassment on their website? This game has been completely...
Yeah, it's because you're going to the wrong department. You're complaining to plumbing about electricity. That doesn't work. It blew up in Jessica's face big time. Still sad. We lost Peter Fries. With her, he was talented. He did it all to himself, though. Yeah, he did do it all to himself. And this is the thing that you've got to realize about this. If you think that Jessica Price was the only person like that in those offices, you're dead fucking wrong. She was just the one who was stupid enough to post her retarded opinions publicly and attack people. The rest of the office, full of them.
Be abandoned by Blizzard. If you are being targeted or harassed, there is virtually nothing you can do to contact Blizzard to get somebody to help you. They have completely replaced their reporting systems with AI. So it seems you can get away with virtually anything in this game as long as you don't say anything that the AI will specifically pick up on. And the Red Empire knows this. Their officers literally have to remind people in Discord not to use slurs at people in game, otherwise they'll get banned, which is why they harass people elsewhere with slurs like Twitch and social media and Discord. But the harassment is still going on in game. And when you try to go to Blizzard to explain what's happening to you, there's no one there to hear you out. So after exhausting literally all of my options trying to contact Blizzard, I heard that there was a way to mass report people in game to get players banned. So I went looking for information on how to do that, and that got back to Poppy Putin and the Red Empire.
So who cares? At this point, you should completely disregard the guy, this Poppy Putin guy, and his Discord's opinions, because they're just going to keep on going. Yeah, mass report them. Fuck them.
Of course, they added that to the list of things they shout about me. Do I think I should be the one who decides whether players get banned or not? Hell no. But when the game has been completely abandoned and there's no one there to help you out in cases like this, what else are you supposed to do? I'm not just going to sit here while myself and my community gets harassed.
For what it's worth, after looking into how to mass report people, I found that it's not nearly as easy to do it as the community may think. And if you don't want to take my word for it, well, they're all still here, aren't they? I found that it doesn't work that way. You can't just mass report someone to get them banned. As far as I'm concerned, mass reporting people to get them banned is probably a myth, which is definitely for the best, because if it was real, people like Poppy Putin would for sure be using it to ban anybody they came across. So
probably, actually. Yeah, he would probably mass report people. New World had this problem where people just before a war would mass report half the team, and then you'd be running into a war with a bunch of strangers and automatically lose.
Did I conspire to mass report people? Technically, yes. But did anyone ever get banned? Clearly not. Considering my ass still gets harassed by the same people on a daily basis. So you can hate me for that if you want. But to be honest, after everything I've been through in this game recently, I really don't give a shit.
I don't hate him for that. I think, yeah, fight back. Use whatever weapons you can. They came after you. You can go after them. I see that as fair.
I know that was a ton of information to unpack, so if you made it this far, I just want to personally thank you for hearing me out and listening to my story. These past few months have been a nightmare for me and my girlfriend to go through. And even though we still have a lot of good people in our corner, we felt pretty alone through this entire thing because I don't think the majority of the community understood exactly how bad this was. Which leads me to a really important point that I want to make. This is not just a toxic guild problem. This is a community problem. If I learned one thing from this whole experience, it's that...
No, you can't put this on the wider community. These guys become representatives of the community. That's for fucking sure. But WoW is a much bigger game than what's happening on a single server.
Blizzard is not coming to save us. Blizzard has abandoned this community. The only ones who can...
Really? Ruh-roh. I knew this 15 years ago.
Anything to make this community a better place is us, the people that exist within it, that are there every single day. But people are pack animals and people want a sense of belonging. When an overwhelming majority within a community has a certain set of ideas, people may change the way they act or behave in order to align more with the majority of people so they have a sense of belonging within that community. When the majority are the people in charge and they're spreading ideas of hate, things can get really messy. This is how really terrible things have happened throughout human history, and I can't help but notice that this is a reoccurring theme that's happening within the WoW Classic community. The amount of people who I once thought were chill dudes who are now spamming slurs to fit in with the owners of the Night Slayer Discord server is appalling. And I don't know if this is just how they've always been, or if now that they think it's hip and cool and acceptable to say the N-word on Night Slayer, they're just doing it to fit in. But
it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. It's just a gaggle of retards being a gaggle of retards. What did you expect? What I want to know is if they're going to use AI to put his GF in a bikini, why didn't they make her fat? She was looking good from the pic. Well, they needed some goon material, right? They needed something to jerk off to, and if they don't have a girlfriend themselves, well, there you go. And the funny part is, you would think if they were going to be as malicious as possible, they would have posted her face as opposed to posting what could be any random woman from behind, right? That one, what I think is that's a significant lack of creativity on their trolling component if they're willing to go as far as doxing the guy. But it's also just kind of lazy. This video was an excellent recruitment for that guild. The most toxic, retarded spurgs who want to be aggressive against other people but have zero creativity when it comes to their trolling are immediately going to jump on this one.
I want to remind the community that it's better to walk 1,000 miles alone than to walk together with racists and people that are spreading hate. And if you want a place to belong, there are communities out there that won't call you the N-word. But if we want our community, the classic WoW community, to be one that won't, then we need to stand up and do something about it. I see posts every single day on social media talking about how WoW is so toxic because of the gear checks and people will check logs and they kick you out of the groups. But how come I never see people talking about how racist and disgusting the community has become?
You don't see that because, oh my God, this is why you don't see that, right? This is that single server. And this is WoW. Sorry. This is that single server and this is WoW. But he's talking about it like it's the whole community. And fair game, he's trying to make them look as bad as fucking possible. Fair game, they went after him, he should go after them. But that's why. But what if I want to be called the N-word? Well, then there's a guild waiting for recruitment, I suppose.
This is something that we need to speak up about. And the reason why nobody has...
What's the new app? MMO? Apogea.
As in tell me is because they don't want to be targeted by the Red Empire or banned from the Night Slayer Discord permanently. Classic Plus is supposed to be right around the corner. And I love the idea of Classic Plus being our new forever home for all the classic Andes out there. But I'm at a point now, whenever I see a Classic Plus video on social media, I just sigh. Because I truly believe if the community doesn't change, then it doesn't matter how good the game is. No one's gonna...
It's not the community, it's a single server.
Stick around when they're met with this type of toxic community. And unless we start to speak up about it now, Classic Plus will just die out the second all these new players realize how toxic the leadership in our community is. My hope is that
they did remember they shared his wedding photos and stuff. Okay, yeah, that's a fair point. They did share all of his other stuff that was on Facebook. I kind of did forget that one. Why didn't they use AI there?
That the community finally starts to step up and speak about this in an effort to change it before we get to Classic Plus. But I'll be honest, I don't have much faith. My platform is only so big. It would take a lot of effort from the community to get the word out. So if you cared about anything I had to say in this video today, please share it with somebody. And if you're a content creator or a streamer, feel free to react to this video. You can be as unbiased as you would like. Because the community cannot change unless we use our voices and platforms to
That is a win for him, allowing people to do that and not being a little bitch about it.
Change it. So what's next for me? Well, I'm sure Poppy Putin and the Red Empire will double down on their harassment towards me and my community. I'm sure I'll be
probably
flamed once again in the Night Slayer Discord and
probably
other Discords and probably in trade chat of Orgrimmar on Night Slayer. I'm sure my social media will be flooded with comments once again saying that I'm a racist, but that's...
Of course that's going to happen because you just gave them what they wanted, right? They wanted this reaction from you. Now, what they probably didn't anticipate was this blowing the fuck up, and now other people are going to start attacking them. And they deserve it.
It's nothing new for me and my community, so I was expecting that. Hopefully nothing happens to me and my family in real life. The authorities have all the names of the people involved in case anything does happen. But at the end of the day, someone had to speak up, and if no one was going to do it, then fuck it, I will.
Yeah, okay, that was fair. I really think he dragged this out. He kept on going through the same point here of the same pattern of behavior that you should expect out of that. The most valuable thing he said was right over here where they used his personal address and maybe even his photos and shit like that. And I 100% support this man that if someone showed up at his house and tried to start some IRL shit, he should blow a big fucking hole in them. I 1000% support him in that, right? Beyond that, this just seems to be peak unemployment, spurg, retard, uncreative behavior from Poppy Putin and his side of that, because it's the same pattern over and over again. His fixation on the one rude word and how terrible it is for him that someone is racist is strange. I have a feeling it bothers him much more than the doxing. I think really, I think he's trying to weaponize it as much as possible. I think that's the right move from him, right? I think the world has become very sensitive to the ideas of specific words being said. And so if you say that word over and over again, and you've got a bunch of incredibly sensitive people, then yeah, I get it. I get why he's weaponizing it. That's actually a smart move, because there are a bunch of people out there who have this almost shocked heart palpitation response to words like that. I didn't know there was a second video. I did, and we're going to watch it now. I swear to God, if this man spends 15 minutes just talking about the N-word again, I'm going to be mad.
As I record this, my video exposing the Red Empire is currently at over 225,000 views. There's been a lot of
it blew the fuck up. Congratulations.
Support from the community. A lot of people have seen the video and have come together to support and spread my message. We've had a lot of different content creators react to my video, using their platform to help continue on this conversation. However, not all content creators have felt comfortable covering this topic. In fact, many have been avoiding it all.
Pussies. Pussies. If you are so scared to look at someone like this, you're a bitch. Absolute pussy.
Together. So today we're going to go over the events that happened after I posted my video and show you some new evidence that came to light that'll explain exactly why nobody wants to be anywhere near the Red Empire.
Attention, Blizzard Entertainment. The community is fed up with your lack of moderation. We know that you are aware of this, and your silence is deafening.
They just don't care.
What's your opinion on Nightman and the Night Slayer trauma? Is that the YouTube video that everyone is linking me about a bunch of IRL threat guild trauma stuff? To be honest, I haven't looked too much into it. I forwarded it to Blizzard, and they told me they're checking it out.
We know that you are aware.
Yeah, they're not checking it out. They just said that to get you to shut the fuck up and leave them alone.
Of this.
So that's all I can really report.
We might have to just wait. I mean, honestly, though, hopefully Nightman is okay. Hopefully something gets done about this, but I cannot have their entire guild come in here and start being fried.
It seems like they're afraid of something, or maybe they've been instructed not to talk about it. I mean, an organized hate group that's gone unnoticed within your community for years is definitely not something you want to be getting out. But on the flip side, these streamers have every reason to not want to get...
All right, my workday's ending, so I'll be heading out. Did you hear of the new MMO SourceCon? No, I haven't at all. I'll take a look at it at some point. Good night, Edward. Go live your life. Yeah, you got some shit to do. I said this in the beginning. I'll keep saying this. I'll say this every stream if I have to. Anything you have to do in your personal life is more important than the stream. Go and do it.
Involved, and I'm going to show you exactly why. So let's start on the night that I...
Some people just don't have the energy to care. I think it's more than that, right? I think it's that a lot of people don't have the energy to care. And on top of that, they've seen this entire pattern of behavior play out for fucking years. So they're like, oh, it's just the new thing that's happening. Give it... SourceCon these days. God, fuck you, Frenchie. You got me with that one. Well played. Well played, you piece of shit. I think, what was my previous point? You stun-locked me. I think a lot of WoW streamers, a lot of people who've played WoW for a very long time are going to have a hard time caring about this because they've just seen this ad nauseum since they started playing WoW. So they have no reason to care. They're just like, give it a month and it'll be over.
Posted the video to give you all a closer look at how the Red Empire reacted. The first thing I did was change the username and profile picture of the Discord account.
Yeah, Grimoire, you had this set up. I saw you had the setup, and then Frenchie just pulled through with the punchline there. You caught me with that one.
Which I infiltrated them on. I knew that they would still eventually find this account, but I wanted to see how long it would take them. It didn't take them long, though. After about an hour, Poppy Putin found the account.
Was that a good example of better trolling? Yes. As derivative as that is, yes, by a wide margin.
And then he pinged the entire server to let him know. Poppy Putin wasn't able to watch the video yet because he was still at work, so he made this post in his Discord.
Oh, he's got a job. Oh, no. Oh, no. Now you see, Poppy Putin fucked up here. If he's got a job, and you've got enough motivated trolls out there who've decided it's his time for beating, if they find out what his job is and where he's working, Things are about to get real interesting for Puppy Putin.
To let everyone know about it. I'm busy at work making more than Nightman makes in a month, but we are the biggest, the largest, the most successful world PvP guild that has ever existed. I eat guilds, I destroy people's mentals, I destroy fucking realms. Classic Plus is coming and we will own the Discord. We will control the narrative and we will be victorious. After making that post, the Red Empire members had realized what happened and they were not pleased. Right away, the Red Empire members started flooding into the chat and trolling the video in any way they could. They dug up the AI generated picture of my girlfriend that they have, and this guy even made it as his profile picture. He literally sent it as a DM to the account and said, I heard you've been talking about my girl. Poppy Putin himself also tried to call the account on Discord, but I didn't answer. They started saying some pretty unhinged stuff. I never wanted to hunt someone down in-game IRL and beat their ass, but this dude is testing me.
So do it. Show up at his house so that Nightman can pull out a gun and erase you. You want to do that shit IRL? Get ready to pay the price.
Oh well, I'll dig the hole. The last few months have been a nightmare. What a bitch. He has no idea how the next few months will be. They kept tagging the account and telling me to get into voice comms and repeatedly spamming the picture of my girlfriend. But eventually they realized I wasn't going to give them a reaction and they finally banned the account. Poppy Putin was pissed. When I initially put out that video, I was taking a big risk because my long format videos on YouTube have never gotten that many views. So I knew there was a chance the video could flop and I would be completely cooked. And the Red Empire knew this. They knew there was a high
He doesn't strike me as someone to own a gun. He may not have before he got doxxed. But you know what? Opinions change real fucking quick when someone's got your private address and they're spreading it around. Someone starts doing that, you're like, oh shit. You know what? Maybe I changed my mind about what is it, the Second or the Third Amendment, right? It's like, I don't know. There was that one famous Twitter post where it was like a guy who was like, fuck these people. If anyone breaks into my house, I'm shooting them dead. And then someone linked a previous screenshot of that guy saying guns are bad. And he asked what changed. And then the response he said was, I got robbed. Things change. Your situation changes. You've got to adapt to it. How much does the gun cost? How much do bullets cost? Less than your life does.
Possibility that my video wasn't going to get seen by anyone and that this would just pass. So the Red Empire was banking on this and they decided they were going to be open and proud about the things that occurred within the video. Remember Hundo, the guy you're probably by now all familiar with? When the post finally made it to the Night Slayer Discord outside of the Red Empire's personal Discord, they finally had to own it. So Coach came out and he said, I will lay waste to our enemies always until the end of time. Let Nightman serve as a warning of the broken man you will become if you cross me. I personally hope it blows up to the point where Zaryu or Asmon picks it up.
Well, apparently that did happen.
I am proud of everything in the video. At this point, the video had still just been posted, so it didn't have very many views at all.
Okay, it's the second. Yeah, it's the second.
The community was receiving the message. The video was going viral. The Red Empire could no longer hide how they behaved towards the community. It was the talk of the town. Everybody was talking about it. And at the end of 5 days, it had 232,000 views. And then the streamers got word of it. Content creators from all over the world took to whatever platform you could think of to share the story of the most toxic guild in
So I'm kind of late to this, actually. Maybe I should have watched this yesterday.
World of Warcraft. The cat's out of the bag now, Poppy Putin. You won't be able to Discord PvP your way out of this one. But that didn't stop him from trying. In a panic, Poppy Putin sent his goons to try and do damage control anywhere they possibly could. Discord, Twitch, YouTube. Their goal was to control the...
But I've been watching for 2 hours and I gotta say, I don't understand this video game. It's an MMO. It was once upon a time the world's greatest MMO to ever fucking exist. And what happened is two things. These guys spammed racial slurs wherever they went. Well, three things, I suppose. They spammed racial slurs. They griefed people in-game. And I couldn't care less about that. The important part of that entire video is that they doxed him. That they're weaponizing they're weaponizing his personal address against him. Putin is losing. Yes, he is. Putin is currently losing because this blew the fuck up. And now it's time for him to be served the same thing he's been serving to other people. Right? The problem with Poppy Putin, right, is I see him as a gigantic pussy, right? He's a bitch. Because the thing is, he can only punch down. He can only target things that are smaller than him. He's incapable of going after something larger than him. So he's kind of a coward in the sense that he's been dodging left and right because the second he went after something big, he couldn't handle the shots that were going to come back at him. So now he's fucked. If this never blew up, this would continue ad nauseum.
Narrative, so that's what they set out.
This is the follow-up video, Bestia.
To do. Anytime
thankfully it's a lot shorter.
Streamer was reacting to the video, their chat just became like a Red Empire den, where every single member would just pile in from the Red Empire, sending them gifts or doing anything they can possibly do to alter the reaction of these streamers. But there was one streamer in particular that they wanted to alter the reaction of the most. No Hit Jerome. The Red Empire has been taking on No Hit Jerome for quite some time now. As you guys know from my last video, they've N-bombed his streams, they've griefed his events. This guy's been through the ringer, which is pretty messed up because Jerome's just trying to have a good time. Jerome's a good dude, but he may have flown a little bit too close to the sun when he made a video reacting to my findings within the Red Empire. Poppy Putin was not pleased with Jerome's video. They started tagging Jerome in the Nightslayer Discord saying he didn't report fairly on the subject. Jerome stated that he exonerated them from doxing, but the Red Empire says he didn't do a good enough job. And because they thought he didn't do a good enough job,
they exonerated him from doxing. How?
We're going to mess with him further. Once again, the Red Empire sent another player into Jerome's raid to grief the entire thing.
This couldn't be a worse. Couldn't be doing a worse job, right? Like, okay, yeah, he is. Okay, just kick him out. It's wasting our time. Spam is some Red Empire.
Everybody wants to give Jerome shit about his raids, but now you see what's happening. From the outside looking in, it looks like the Red Empire is upset with Jerome for not helping them push their side of the narrative. So
of course they are. They're going to attack smaller people because they can't attack the larger ones. Classic pussy behavior. If you're going to troll in all directions. Up, down, left, right. Straight in front of you, behind you. You got to go all directions. These guys are pussies.
Sent people to grief his raid to try and force him into submission. But Jerome was a legend, and it didn't work on him. Jerome claps back with another video, giving him more updates on the story and continuing to share about the griefing that the Red Empire is doing to him. When a bunch of streamers are staying silent on this because they don't want to be harassed, Jerome is clapping back and standing up for what's right. I better see some love for Jerome in the comments, because by the looks of these posts where Poppy Putin is tagging Jerome in the Nightslayer Discord, it looks like he's gonna need it. At this point, Poppy Putin is realizing that the community's opinion is starting to be swayed. Since releasing my video, I've received reports that the Red Empire's lost a couple of officers and dozens of members. And to top that off, the Red Empire
expected.
I was getting destroyed.
The man bun on that guy. You should ask him for your next Starbucks order.
In Game 2, the Alliance was more united than ever, and they were working together to absolutely shit on the Red Empire in World PvP.
Good. They deserve it. They deserve it for being little bitches. If you're going to deal out the medicine, you got to take some yourself.
Literally got completely wiped 5 times in one night. And if I know Poppy Putin, he disliked that more than anything so far. Poppy Putin was losing his grasp, not just over the PvP front, but over control of his members as well. So Poppy Putin calls for a private guild meeting in the Red Empire Discord to address the entire guild on the situation at hand. And as I said earlier, when my last video came out, they banned the Discord account which I had infiltrated them on. So I didn't have access to this private guild meeting that they were going to have. Or did I? You thought I was going to give up access that easy?
He had another account, didn't he?
You thought my infiltration was some little game? When I infiltrate an organization, I don't stop at just one layer. I burrow deep until I'm within every wall. I'm not only 1, but 10 steps ahead of you, Poppy Putin. I'll see you at the guild meeting.
Give him props. Give him props where he deserves it. That's real fucking smart of him to have a second account set up, knowing that he'd be able to get in there, or have a mole on the inside who would feed him information. WoW is in such a bad state that the most hardcore players are searching for PvP in real life instead. Yeah, but their real problem is they forgot to charge their mobility scooter.
All right, guys. So the last 3-4 days have obviously been extremely interesting. We have went from being probably the most well-known World PvP guild, griefing guild since Wood Department, to being absolutely the most famous and hated group of fucking autistic in the history of World of Warcraft.
I don't know if I would say in the history, but you're pretty up there right now.
I want to give a couple things that I want to tell people. One, I was trying to lay low for a couple days, and I can't not Discord PvP, so I'm burning right now. I'm on 3 burner accounts, mass reporting arguing with mods on 5 Discords. These bro. They will see why we are supreme and why we have become who we are.
Okay, that's funny. That's funny. Okay, that's fear. What you're hearing in his voice there, that's fear. Right? He's scrambling now because that is pure fear coming out of him.
This video game. And it was not overnight. It was through hard work. I personally feel absolutely bad about nothing that we have done. There's not a single thing that I regret that we have done. All of my morals have completely stayed intact. I do not feel bad about with Nightman. I do not feel bad about the picture of his girlfriend. And the reason why I do not feel bad about these things is because all of these things were done by them first.
You see, now you switch the blame. Oh, he's still trying. I'm sorry. You've been painted as the bad guy. You are the bad guy. Now you're scrambling, you're panicking, and you're shitting your pants because you can't handle it having what you do to others being done to you.
For me, it's really important that we do keep certain things in check, that we do keep things moral in the sense with stuff like this. What we do and how we do things, there are rules to things, just like, some sort of mafia or organized.
No, there's not. Come on, it's griefing in PvP.
Criminal organization or anything like that. The most important thing is that we keep things in game.
I didn't do nothing. He's a good boy. He was a scholar.
I have no desire to counter dox, even if I get doxed right now. My full name gets dropped in the Night Slayer Discord and a picture of me. I will make no remark, no retort to that.
Let me pause you right there, Poppy Putin, because it turns out that isn't true. All of a sudden, for what seems to come out of nowhere, an anonymous YouTube page posted a video of Poppy Putin with some damning evidence. Most toxic guild Red Empire exposed for doxing and gets farmed. GM of Red Empire, Poppy Putin, claims they do not dox, but yet they have doxed more.
It's the USSR for Yes, Stalin fell asleep in his soup.
Multiple people in WoW, including GM of Big PvP, Mayor West. See what this is about.
There he is. He's back. What did he say? What did Mr. Corey to the say?
What? Wait, hold on. Is that his last name?
What did he say? What did Mr. Corey to the say?
Damn. They bleeped out his last name, but they didn't bleep out the slur. But he said his first and last name in chat. Holy crap. So to give you guys some context, Mayor West is the GM of Poppy Putin's rival guild, Big PvP. And this proof that just came out is of Poppy Putin screaming his first and last name in some sort of Discord call.
I would love to see more evidence of how his address got spread around, though. I would love to see that, because that would reinforce his point really well. I hope he gets to it in this video.
The rest of the video did share some more screenshots, but I'm just going to link it in the description so you guys can check it out yourself, because the plot is about to get even thicker. Do you guys remember this from my last video? So what does all of that have to do with the Red Empire? They were approached with my information as well. I know this because Poppy Putin himself posted about this in the Night Slayer PvP Discord. He unfortunately deleted the comment before I could get a screenshot of it, but what I do have is screenshots of the person who approached him with my information. We need to talk about that, because some new information has come to light. You see, when I made my last video, I didn't have any proof that Poppy Putin was approached with my information. I only had a confession, and for a lot of the community, that wasn't good enough. The Red Empire said it was just hearsay, and that it didn't count as solid proof. Until now. Through the power of virality, I was able to secure the entire conversation of fatherless FX attempting to dox me to Poppy Putin.
Ooh, I could tell you his first and last name and his girlfriend's first and last name, Oxy's first and last name, their Facebooks and the towns they live in, and some secrets I went into the rabbit hole out of hatred. 2, I'm definitely your friend here. No IRL shit. Well, the one kind of IRL thing I will say is when Rapolsky got banned for calling blank out about her pretending to not already have and blank, when she was on a floating spree in PvP Salt, of all places, he was not making that shit up. Honestly, she was lucky he didn't post the link to it instead. Technically not IRL shit. I guess the more I think about it, I'm good on all that. I need something more solid than that. I mean, this is a good lead, but I need something more solid.
I could tell you his first and last name and his girlfriend's first and last name, Oxy's first and last name, all their Facebooks and the towns they live in, and some secrets. I went into the rabbit hole out of hatred too. I'm definitely your friend here. You think that's bad? That's not all I found. Remember this guy? On November 10th of 2025, I paid a fellow guild member and most wanted named Carecamp.
Okay, yeah.
That guy. I was sent this screenshot where Poppy Putin was approached by Carecamp with my address, just as I had expected. So he sends him a screenshot of what looks like my guild announcement, and then he says it's from my spy. Juiciest thing I got is his addy. It looks like he changed his username at some point, but we...
Wait. Go back. Give Poppy Putin credit. What is his response that he's skipping over? I'm not interested in that. You got to give him credit where it's due. Poppy Putin said he's not interested in the guy's IRL address. That doesn't mean other people aren't going to do that and weaponize that against him. But he specifically said he's not interested in his IRL information.
My spy. Juiciest thing I got is his Addy. It looks like he changed his username at some point, but we can confirm it's him by the profile picture. It's not looking pretty good for Fatherless and Care Camp right now. Now, I want to be very clear that in both of these cases of evidence, Poppy Putin states that he doesn't want my IRL information from.
That's fair. That's fair. At least he's trying to keep it online.
But is this really the guy you expect me to trust?
There he is. He's back. What made you say?
No, I don't expect you to trust. I don't expect you or anyone else to trust him. I expect you to weaponize all pieces of information that you can against him the same way he's done to you. Fair's fair.
What did Mr. Corey say?
I'll let the community decide, because for now, I must get back.
He could also just be being cautious as well. He could be potentially, you're right. He could very well potentially be saying that shit, knowing that it's going to get screen capped so that when someone tries to get him in trouble, he can say, but look, I've got plausible deniability.
This guild event.
Moving past that shit, what are we going to do now? Okay, we have the notoriety. We are the most well-known guild. Okay, how do we capitalize on that as a guild? Well, we just keep doing what we're doing. That's all we're going to do. We're going to keep doing what the we're going to do. We're going to play TBC until the wheels break off. We're going to keep on riding. We're going to keep on camping raids. We're going to keep on griefing streamers. We're going to do this shit non-stop.
You know what, okay. Blizzard Entertainment? If I'm not mistaken, it sounds to me like they're calling you out.
It's not going to slow down. Blizzard does not give a shit about griefing.
He's right. He's right, they don't.
None of what we are doing is TOS. As far as Jerome, as far as for any of these other streamers, we are going to continue to grief them. We're going to wipe their raids. We're going to do it in a way that it makes it to where it's the hardest possible way for them to monetize it.
They're actually very successful at doing this. When they target a streamer, they don't just camp them. They ruin their name until nobody fucks with them anymore. In the month of February, I had 482 subs on Twitch. By the month of June, I had only 60. One thing I want to touch on that I think some of the larger content creators don't understand is that I built my entire brand specifically off playing classic World of Warcraft. I invited all of my followers to join me, and
hey, guess what I did with Guild Wars 2?
We had a guild of almost 800 members at one point. So I'm pretty locked in on Night Slayer. I can't just leave and play another game like some of these big content creators can. And
you can pivot, try something else, and build from there. But it's going to be a fucking rough road, bud.
Since the community is so small, my success kind of is dependent off what the community thinks of me. So when the Red Empire targets your reputation in these small and niche communities, it has a real effect on these small content creators, which kind of sucks because I had a good thing going. But it's not just happening to me. It's happening to others as well.
Like with that I8 Orc guy, there's a 5-viewer Andy. When we do hit him and we hit him hard, we're going to do it without getting inside of their...
Like, not interested, but put it on blast on the WoW PvP server in announcements. That's actually fair. Yeah, that's fair. He did do that. Yeah, maybe there was a plausible deniability move just in case he thought someone was trying to bait him into saying, oh yeah, no, that's great. So he might have been smart enough to figure that out.
Their streams without giving them ad revenue. We're going to hit them at opportune moments. Same thing for larger guys. Okay, no one, and I mean no.
Whoop! What the fuck happened there?
From what we are going to do, I don't care who it is. I don't care how large their platform is. Whether it's Peekaboo, whether it's Zaru, whether it's all of that. In Classic Plus, we will be hitting all of them.
He says that, but I think he's smart enough to know he's not going to succeed if he goes after someone bigger than himself.
All of them.
As of now, Poppy Putin has changed his name and is still at large.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I think his follow-up was better than the main video that he did. I think he did a much better job of it in the shorter video than he did in that big one where he just keeps on going on about how they use a lot of racial slurs. The doxing is getting it out of hand. Show up at his house, fuck around, find out. That's what I say. I respect Nightman's right to defend himself. If someone's going to come do that shit IRL to you, fertilize your lawn with their guts. They deserve it. Okay, funny how they went from we want all the smoke to changing their in-game names. Oh yeah, they pussied out. They pussied out big time. Blizzard needs to step in. They won't. You can hear the fear in Poppy Putin's voice. You can. In the guild meeting as he speaks, what a pathetic excuse of a man he is, and the fact that he changed his in-game name shows that he's scared. He is scared. Poppy Putin's now shitting his pants. He's scrambling. They will see who we've become in this video game. Dude lives a sad life. This guy is leading a coalition of adult school shooters. Hope he gets IP banned. No, these guys do not have the physical requirement to be a school shooter. They don't have the ability to leave their house. Yes, Your Honor, I did use that information, but I'm still not interested in it. Yeah, that'll work out real well. The most wanted man in all of WoW Classic. He is now the single most wanted man out there. And you know what? Props where props are due. Well done tonight, man. Congratulations. He has managed to weaponize everything against this guy who went after him, and he's managed to turn the tables on him. Well played. Well played, good sir. Although your methods were bland and did not affect me over much, aside from the whole doxing thing, that's just fucking out of hand. Well done to him. Congratulations. You did a good job. You've weaponized people against him, and he deserves it. Congratulations.